Let me ask you a question. The church is brought to you by Onnit.com. Go to Onnit for the best supplements in the business. You understand me? Go to Onnit.com. Pick a supplement. Alpha Brain, New Mood, Shroom Tech. You like it? Press in.
Church.
Get 10% off delivered to your house. Number 2. You ever go to your dad's house? He's mowing the lawn with his little fucking shorts on, his little fucking faggy slippers. And you ask yourself, how long has he been out here? He didn't even take a shower. His ass all fucked up. And you say to yourself, how bad does my dad's asshole stink right now? You'll never have that question again. You know why? Because Father's Day's coming. And Hello Tushy is there for you. The bidet is back. Go to HelloTushy.com and take a look at all the fine bidets. You understand me? If you like one, go to the box and press in.
Church.
Boom!
HelloTushy.com/church.
HelloTushy.com/church. That's the answer to your dad's asshole. Father's Day's coming. Number 2, are you hiring? Do you know where to even post your job to find the best candidates? It's over. Go to ZipRecruiter. You know why? It's been used by businesses of all sizes to find the most qualified job applicants. And right now, my listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/church. Again, ZipRecruiter.com/church. And the church wants to welcome one of the best up-and-coming clothing companies out there. You understand me? Because looking good doesn't need to cost you a fortune. 5-4 Club is the revolutionary way for men to shop. Right now, go to 54club.com, enter promo code Joey, and they'll give you 50% off your first month's package, plus a free pair of sunglasses. You understand me? Your future is bright. You got to wear shades. That's 50% off your first package at 54, spelled 54, FIVEFOUR, club.com, promo code Joey. Hit it, Lee. Oh, shit. May 31st, you bad motherfuckers. Iron Maiden to get this party started. What? Uncle Joey, Celia Behar, Syatt. Here we go. Are you fucking kidding me or what? Break out the fucking syringes. It's over. Meet me in Seattle. We're going deep tonight. Oh, rat child. Here we go. Wash that monkey. The church of what's happening now. Welcome. Welcome to Podcastville, you bad motherfuckers. Uncle Joey here. You're safe. You're warm. Everything's beautiful. Syatt's here giggling up a storm.
I don't know if I'm safe.
You're always safe, cocksucker. Uncle Joey's here. And our guest tonight is the beautiful Celia Behar from LittleMommies.com. Little Mamas, Mommies, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? It depends what time of the day it is. If it's at night, you ain't got me. But maybe at 2 in the afternoon, who gives a fuck? Do you mind coffee breath? Anyway, what's happening?
Nothing.
Good to have you on the show. Get close here so we can hear you. Beautiful.
Thank you for having me.
New York motherfucker.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
What's up with you, Lisa? You over there looking like fucking... like Tiger Woods headshot. Look at you, your eyes all fucked up.
I feel like Tiger Woods headshot right now. I don't know.
Shit.
You always say like you have these different. I don't know anything about weed, so you have all these black hairs and red hairs. I don't know what you're putting in that bong, but it's craziness.
You need to know. Who cares? I can give it a name. I can make believe. I have this. I have Carrot 28. I have, Herbie and Gold. I can make any fucking name up.
He gave you the no name anyway.
I give you the no name anyway.
Yeah, I don't need to know the name. I feel like the other ones might be tested in the lab, and these ones he's getting from someone who's like growing them in some secret solution. Or
I mean, I've only hung out with you guys for a little bit, but I think you actually are the lab.
Yeah, pretty much.
I could tell.
We're the lab. I don't make him do nothing. I don't do. I do everything he does and double. He knows that since day one.
Yeah, no, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, but I don't know how you do that. I don't know how your lungs have that capacity.
It is impressive.
Because when I moved to Colorado, when I was 19.
Okay.
And I started doing bong hits up there. And in that transition period, you have that period where your lungs, they have a word for it. Why, George, why you go up?
Explode?
No. What's that thing that George Masvidal went to Denver?
Acclimate.
You acclimate your lungs. So
Okay.
it makes your lungs take in more oxygen. So because I was growing up there and doing bong hits at that time up there, my lungs always got a little bigger. Plus, I've been smoking for 30 years. It's no fair. I tell people all the time, I'm not a drinker, not because I'm an alcohol, like I'm in a program or a friend of John's or something. I just enjoyed marijuana better. And the people like when we were 15, 16, let's say tonight you called me and said, Joey, what are you doing tonight? I don't know. What are you going to do, Celia? I don't know. My dad's going out tonight. My mom's working. Invite Lee over. I'll invite my boyfriend, and I'll get a girl to come over. That's what, 6 of us?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what do you want to do, Celia? You would go out. I'll tell you what I'll do. I got a $25 bag. You usually get 27 joints. I'll give it to you guys for 20. Just chip in. Give me the money when you get here. That means I'm coming to your house, and we're going to roll up every joint in that bag.
Smoke them all.
When I was 16. And we would smoke them all. We would listen to music out in my friend the Villo shed, and we would not go home till every joint was gone. It was one after the other. And God forbid somebody didn't show up with weed and go, put that away. And we look at each other like, oh, fuck, that means we're going to have weed for tomorrow. Like if somebody showed up with a bag of weed, then we go, okay. Now there's 4 of us, so we each take the joint home. And we, you know what I'm saying? Instead of fucking sitting like, I mean, we were diehards. We would sit there till every fucking joint was gone. So I always want people to understand that I've been it's not fair. I've been smoking before the Big Bang fucking theory. I'm an old man. So.
No.
How old were you when you started smoking?
14.
14.
Yeah.
Where did you start smoking? New York City?
No, in Connecticut, Westport, Connecticut.
What made you smoke at 14?
A boy, of course.
Did you ever, at the time of smoking, did you dream that you were going to smoke?
No, definitely
Never
not.
on your agenda. Me neither.
No, because my parents were, I got fed all the, war on drugs and DARE and all that, and that was a gateway. No way.
How did you feel about alcohol at that time?
I didn't drink. I didn't drink most of high school, to be fair. I was a... I can't believe I'm going to admit this, but whatever. Well, I was a student educator in my high school, which meant that I signed on and said that I was going to help educate, younger classes by, about drugs and alcohol and their effects. And I took a pledge that I wouldn't drink or do drugs.
Now,
I held to one of those.
Now, when you smoked at 14, how long till you went back to smoking again?
Well, I started smoking pot at 14. I smoked all through high school and college.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely was
So while you were a student moderator, you were sneaking it off?
Yeah, I still smoked pot when I was a student educator.
Now, did you smoke with people? Or did you keep it under a hat? And shit?
No, I smoked. I mean, I had friends that I would smoke with.
Would people go, look who I'm getting high with, the student moderator?
No.
See, thank God there were no cameras.
Because you know what? At least one of them was also a student educator. So we had hid it from all the other ones. Shh, we're not really doing this.
So by this time, what years were this for high school?
That was early 90s for me.
So early 90s, they already had high-level
I graduated early 90s. So.
They already had high-level drug programs.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, that rolled out in the 80s, the DARE and all that stuff.
DARE came out when I was, but they never, the only contact I had with cops about drugs were in the first grade in New York City. I barely knew English. I signed, my mom put me, I don't know where the fuck I went to kindergarten. I don't think she put me in kindergarten. She just took me to the bar with her. It was the easiest way. She didn't trust no fucking kindergarten. She was an immigrant mom. So my dad had died. I was all she had. I doubt she put me in. I don't remember. I remember everything. And I can't.
Yeah,
I think I probably did. I think I did go to... Yes, I did. Why am I lying to you? I did go to kindergarten at PS 166. And then what the fuck are we talking about? Oh, so in the first grade, they take you over. They take you over to whatever precinct is you belong to. And I don't remember the name. I could give it a phony number or something. People are going to get pissed off at me. And they took you in there in those days. They let you shoot a 22. They fingerprinted you.
What?
They fingerprinted you.
In kindergarten?
In the first grade. In the first grade, they let you shoot a .22, and then they gave you the bullet to take home. They gave you the target.
Different times.
Different, yeah.
What?
Like I can't even imagine my mom. If my mom found out I shot a gun at 6.
They gave you the target. They gave you a little gun. They gave you a badge. They gave you. You had to sign paperwork.
I don't think I was even allowed to light my fucking menorah by myself
You signed-
when I was in first grade.
You signed something, and you were like a junior cop.
Holy crap!
Like you were gonna obey precinct orders and shit. And I bought into it. For a few weeks, I would see the cop walking the beat, and I would go, I don't know if you should know this, but I'm a junior detective, and I'm on the beat too. You know what I'm saying? He would look at me like, get the fuck out of here. Like, are you fucking retarded? Get the fuck out of here, junior detective. But they also showed you drugs. They showed you marijuana. They showed you, I don't remember what else. Like, at that time, like glue or PCP or something like that. And I went home and I told my mom. And I could see my mom had that look on her face. And like 2 days later, my mom goes, come here, come in the kitchen. And she had the babysitter with her. She goes, come in the kitchen and sit down. And she just started taking weed out. She goes, this is marijuana. She goes, you know what this is? This is alcohol. And you know what it does to you because you stole a bottle of wine and got fucked up. And that's why you don't drink no more, but you know what it is now. So this is marijuana. She showed me cocaine.
Wow.
And I didn't know what the fuck it was even. I was like, she goes, if anybody ever tries to give you this on the street, tell them to go fuck themselves and stuff. And that was it. That was it. We never really discussed it. As I was older, I knew the drug lingo, but I would make believe like I didn't know what she was talking about. But I always knew. And then when I would go to my cousins' homes and shit like that, their parents were involved in it, but the kids didn't know.
Like all drugs or just weed?
My mom was involved in bookmaking. She had the bar. The bar was the cover. The restaurant was the cover. She was partners in a dry cleaner at the Bronx. That was another cover. But the main thing was the gambling. The secondary, I was at a bar, so people did drugs at the bar. I saw people with white rings in their nose, and I would sit there and scratch my head.
The long finger.
Then I fingered. No, there was no. This is the early '70s. These people didn't want nobody to know. In those days, it was aluminum foil and a matchbook, and they didn't even grind it up. They would take the fingers and take the Coke rocks and put them in their nose. And I would wake up in the mornings, and in those days, that's when the all-nighters would start. So I would get up in the morning, and it didn't smell like eggs. It would smell like fucking a pig and black beans and rice and yuca. And I would run in the kitchen. There'd be 16 people in my house with Cuban music on, and everybody's dancing, and there's a fucking thing, and nobody's eating. Nobody's eating, and they're all sneaking into the kitchen, and I would hear, and I fucking knew. You know what I'm saying? Like I would say, oh, and then my mom would go, look what I made for you. No, my mom would do a couple bumps and get confused too. I'm hungry. Anybody want to eat? Hell yeah, we all want to eat. 2 hours later, when the meal is done, nobody could eat because they're all fucking jazzed up. So I put it together at a young age.
Yeah.
Did I like it? No, not at all. Did it deter me from it? For a long fucking time.
Because why? Because you didn't like how they acted? Or?
I didn't like the whole fucking thing. I didn't like the whole thing. Now, in the 70s, gotta remember, if you were a product of the 70s, if you watch television, on 9 out of 10 shows, let's pretend I was 5 or 6, and I watched The Courtship of Eddie's Father. I watched Room 222. I watched, I don't know when the Waltons came on. I think the Waltons came on a couple of years later.
Yeah.
But any of those TV shows, 80% of those TV shows always involved alcohol. I'll put on shows right now on YouTube that I've watched recently. And there's a show called All in the Family. It's a family show. It's Sebastian Cabot and Sissy and Buffy. In the pilot, he fucking walks in, takes a bottle with no label on it, whatever substance, it's brown.
Right.
So it could be rye, whiskey, bourbon, scotch. It could be a bunch of different things.
Right.
Rum. And they would pour a glass. And if you came over, I'd go, Celia, how are you? And I would never even, in the 70s, it wasn't even thought of me to go, Celia. No, I would pour and give it to you.
Right.
And you would go, okay, and you drink it in the 70s because DUIs weren't very prevalent then. They weren't. DUIs didn't get prevalently till about 1980.
Well, they were. I just don't think anyone got
right. Nobody
right.
fucking got their shit.
Yeah, people would
thrown
just
away.
fucking.
Well, that was because
then
of MAD that
listen,
took over
60% of DUIs when I was growing up, I would hear it. People go, I was fucked up last night. I got pulled over. What happened? The cop got in my car, and I got in the cop car. And the other cop drove my car, and they dropped me off in front of my house. Like, shit like that.
No way.
There was shit like that.
Yeah.
Or
It
they
wasn't,
would-
it
or
wasn't
they would
until
follow,
MAD.
yeah, they would
Mothers
follow
Against
you
Drug
home.
Driving is when
80,
that,
81 was when it started.
That's really when
I
it did.
saw that accident when I was a child at 81. I was in a hit of acid New Year's, and I saw a car break in half, went to a fucking pole. And the
shit.
people yelling. I remember the girl yelling. The guy was dead as disco. The chick was yelling. And I went home and I go, well, I learned the lesson. I'll never fucking drink and drive.
Right.
And I remember friends over the years. I had a friend that went home, got horny in the middle of the night, got in his car. He was on Quaaludes. He went into the city, got a fucking blowjob from a hooker. While he was getting his dick sucked, they got a gun to his head. They took his money. It was a scam. They took his money. He was pissed off because he was almost ready to come. I mean, when he told me the story the next day, and I was 19, and he tells me this story. He goes, I was ready to fucking nut in my mouth. And this fucking yam puts a gun to my head and fucking threatens to take my money. They were in on it together. She was giggling. He goes, I just wanted to come. He goes, I was going back home to get my ATM card to get more money. But he goes, as I was hitting Boulevard East, he hit 3 cars. Like, I've had a couple friends
Holy crap.
in the early 80s. In fact, one of the kids
That's a bad night right there.
oh my God, one of the kids that listens to this show, his brother, when we were going in high school, he had a reputation of never talking. Like if when he picked you up at night, Celia, get in the car, cocksucker, what's going on? How you doing? Celia, you want to do a package tonight? And you're like, no, I just want to fuck that. Lee, what are you doing? He'd start busting your balls, and the whole way up he'd be torturing you. You know, Celia, we're getting fucked up tonight. I got this shit that killed whatever. And then they get up to Corky's bar, they get a package. This guy would do 2 bumps, and he wouldn't say a word the rest of the night. And people go, what the fuck? You wouldn't shut the fuck up on the... But this was after about 2 or 3 years of doing blow in the early 80s. He stopped shutting up. Like by the mid-80s, he wouldn't say a fucking word anymore. And one night, like in 84, maybe 83, he got a DUI. He didn't get a DUI. He crashed the car, and they brought him in and called his dad. And just to say, your son's here, he crashed the car, come pick him up, he's been drinking. Like, that's what it was like.
Yeah.
My friend's dad goes down there with the kid, Timmy, who listens to the show, Marblehead, and they ask, and my friend's a heavy-duty guy, his dad, and he goes, where's my son? He's right there. He goes, officer, how was his behavior tonight? And he said the cop looked him straight in the face and he goes, your son didn't make a peep. So Timmy, the old man didn't know that he was high, but Timmy knew he was high because he didn't make a peep. So
Well, it's well for him.
But that's how it was. For people listening to the show who were young, that's how it was. If you were cool, if you went on, listen, if you got drunk and went into a fucking tree in those days, okay, and they would come and there was alcohol in your car, they would tow your car. They would, they wouldn't.
There was no consequence.
But I think that there was something happened in one of the states.
It was
that
mad.
That
it
a
was
girl
it
died.
was
Yeah,
Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
A girl died.
That's
her
what
mother,
it was. Because
and
moms can change shit.
Then a few moms got together.
And they became a huge movement. Yep.
And-
Her
and-
daughter died the person that started it, her daughter died in a car accident. I will never forget seeing like the Lifetime movie of this and being like, I will never drink and drive. And yeah, she died. And it was a hit and run drunk driving accident. And that mom tracked down who it was and then basically lobbied and got all these moms together and created MAD, is what it's called, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Still exists. And
No, I know
they
it
came
does.
like this huge movement, this huge coalition. They got that law on the books for drunk driving.
It's crazy because when I go to the store at night, 2 nights a week, I go to the comedy store and I go take Laurel Canyon. And I gotta be honest with you, on the way home, I drive so defenseless, so,
On Laurel Canyon?
Defensive.
defensive.
Yeah.
You're right, defensive. It's fucking crazy, especially coming up the hill. I am alert as fuck watching those cars.
Oh yeah.
I don't play games.
I don't like driving that in the night when
no,
I haven't.
And I'm stupid. I get home and I go, that's the last time I'm driving Laurel Canyon.
Yeah.
Then a week later, I make the left right there. Instead of driving it deep down and going into Hollywood by the 101 Cafe there or something. No, I fucking shoot up Laurel Canyon, and I'm always thinking, one of these nights, some drunk guy is going to come from the valley to get fucking heroin. He's going to be coming down this fucking hill. He's going to lose control, and I'm going to be coming up like an asshole listening to Ozzy's Boneyard. And I'm going to get hit fucking head on.
Real specific.
Yeah, that's how it happens. You know, people who get iced like that don't get iced because they're speed racing. They're at a light. They're driving, minding their business, having a conversation. All of a sudden you look up and there's a car coming at you. You know, there's a fucking car coming at you. You know, what do? You have to be prepared for that at night. You're not drinking. You know, people come up to me at the Comedy Store at night, and they come up to me and go, hey, you want to get high? And I got to tell you something. I've already smoked all fucking day. By the time 8 o'clock comes, there ain't nothing left. I can smoke 80 till I'm all right already. Look at me. I'm fine. I'm tip-top Magoo. I'm fine. You saw me eat chocolate. You saw me eat stars.
I know.
It lasts for 20, 30 minutes. So at night,
Tip-top
you know,
Magoo.
in California, I feel like I have a privilege. I have this thing in my card, which means shit. I have a card in my wallet, which means shit.
Right.
If the cops pull me over. Like, if I get pulled over with 2 pounds of weed in my trunk, this legality card that everybody in the country is like, oh, I could love to get one of those, does shit. If
well, to be fair, it doesn't legalize you having 2 pounds of weed in your
whatever.
car.
If the cop wants to take me in, he's going to take me in because I'm being an asshole.
Right.
So I have a privilege, the same privilege you have, the same privilege Lee has. When we're in here, you want to do 20 bong and Celia, I don't give a fuck. Things get fucked up. Anymore. Things get fucked up, Celia. I'll put you in an Uber, and we're all happy. You know what? For us to get in the car right now, to go to Hollywood and spark 2 joints in the car, as much as I smoke pot, as much as I'm a felonious motherfucker, go in my car. There's never weed in my car. I have joints in there to give away to people.
Yeah.
Like the door guys at the store. If the weed store gives me like good perennial joints, I give those to the fucking lot guys. They jump up and down for that weed.
Sure,
you know
that's awesome.
So, but I don't have weed in my car to smoke. I'll never spark in my car. And in the back of my mind, they give you a fucking privilege, Celia.
Totally, I agree.
Why are we taking advantage of it? Are you walking up and down the street like Cheech and Chong with smoke coming out of your fucking car? Like, who gives a fuck? You know, I would smoke the vapors on the plane. Let's face it. How high were those vapors really getting me? Not really that high. So why am I going to have a felony to prove what? That I'm Joe Cool? I have a vapor pen in the sleep apnea machine when I travel, but
just in case
I get stuck in an airport for 6 hours or more. But let me tell you something. I get juiced up. Oh.
You just eat the edibles,
I'm going to Long Island June 23rd and 24th, and it's my favorite flight in the world. This is the flight of death. I started writing music down today so I could put it on my iPod.
Is this the JetBlue one that you like in the pod?
Oh,
that thing?
no.
Because I heard you talk about that.
I got a fucking one-way shooting out. I had an old plane ticket I had to use by July 26th. Bingo, I'm Virgin. I took the fucking the thing. Let me tell you what I saw today, Lee. You're not going to believe what I saw. You're going to say, Joey, you're lying to me. But just to educate the people at home. When you fly, because I tell Lee all the time, Lee, when I tell you Virgin, when I tell you book a flight on Virgin,
right?
Do I tell you to get first class?
No,
Never.
sir.
What do I tell you to get?
You tell me to get the it's not cabin, it's main cabin select.
Main cabin select, okay? I fucking came up with a flight today, people. Just so you know, for people who don't travel, kiss yourself, go. I don't travel because they fuck you in the ass 3 times, okay? They fuck you, and I saw something today that the Jew in me almost made me call Lee and go, Lee, look at these motherfuckers. It was like a bad line. You know what I'm saying? You ever look at a line, you're going to gamble, Lee? New England's at home giving 3 points to the team who was 0-19 last year. What the fuck? Who's not playing? Brady ain't showing up? What? Lee, it was the same thing. You ready? There's a flight that goes out of LAX. Same flight. One flight. I think it leaves at 1:30 in the afternoon and it gets to LAX, Kennedy at 11, something like this. That flight had first class for $9.69 and Main Cabin Select was $1,099. That's how hot Main Cabin Select is.
Oh my God.
But the word got out, and people started making it. You can't get a seat on Main Cabin. You know why? Because you could always opt to first class 6 hours before the flight. You just gotta wait. Like if your flight's at 6 a.m., you gotta wake up like fucking like in a dunce in the middle of the night and call and be the first one to call. 6 hours. And usually, I swear to God, Celia, swear to my mother's grave, I think there's only been one time I haven't gotten it.
Wow.
Like if you get Main Cabin Select, you got first class. You call them and go, I want us, and for $1.25. So you can't lose. Main Cabin Select is the level up from fucking the rest of the fucking animals. All right? The seat's a little bigger. All right? They got a screen, and you can get the waitress to come to you.
The waitress.
Oh, yeah, whatever you want to call it. You press a
They
button.
do that in Main Cabin, too.
What do you mean, main? Not, they don't come to you.
Yes, they do.
Not anymore.
Not like
Well,
that.
it depends on
It
what
depends.
what
You can order the
airline you're
boxes,
on.
can't you?
You go. I think you have to
Maybe
make
a better
them
food
come.
up there.
It depends
You have
on
to
the
ring a
airline.
bell for them to come, then you
Oh.
take the order. With this shit, you stop your movie, you press pause on the movie. You go, hold on 1 second. You press pause on the movie. You flip even me, the retard, could do it. You flip the screen over. You say food. You got to make sure you get all the good shit early. So if you see something you want on Virgin, get it early. Because the thing that sells everything goes except the Korean chicken sandwich. Let me tell you something. You might as well eat somebody's foot. If you're gonna eat a Korean chicken sandwich on Virgin Airlines, you might as well look at that fucking this guy that snuck in from whatever country he did with dry feet.
Oh God! No.
Grab his foot and fucking bite it. It's the same difference. Okay?
That's so gross.
The Korean chicken, even I broke down and got it one time on one of those long flights.
Just to see what it was like.
Oh, God.
Why did you do that?
Oh God, because
That's
you're
awful.
stoned to the
8,000
gills.
edibles before you.
Because when you're gonna get on a fucking plane, okay,
Oh, I don't like it on
the
the
6
plane.
hour flights, you got to be prepared. You got to eat a good breakfast before you go. You got to take an aspirin for your heart to open up. You got to drink water on the plane so you don't
I
dehydrate.
don't think I've ever taken an aspirin before I got on a
This
plane.
is you never ran with Uncle Joey either. You know what I'm saying?
It's true. All
You
right.
run with Uncle
All right.
Joey, you got a baby aspirin at the gate.
Great.
That's how I roll.
You've never
All
given
right.
me a baby ass.
Because it don't matter with you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to go eat shitty food anyway in an hour, so it doesn't matter. You probably got a fucking Subway sandwich on your knapsack or something like that.
Ew.
So, yeah, that's the fucking difference. You put a little heart.
Okay.
Boom, you get water. You don't need to be a fucking savage on a plane, but you do need to get a little high and deviate yourself.
No, you don't.
If you want to eat a Vicodin, that's up to you.
You do have to get a little high before you got
if
on
you
a
want to
plane.
get
Oh, it's too scary on
if
a
you want to
plane.
eat
No.
a Xanax and get a red wine in you, let me tell you something. A 5.5 hour flight. I know these people on this that listen to this. You guys travel internationally. God bless you. Tell fucking Lee that you motherfucking international flyers, you guys live on Xanax.
Oh,
The people who fly across the world, they live on Xanax.
Okay,
They
yeah, I
can't
can
take
see
it.
that.
They can't take it.
But why
And
wouldn't
won't
they use
admit-
edibles? That'd be better anyway.
Because it's tough to get through the dog. You don't want to kill the dog. Can you imagine you fucking walk and the dog sniffs your can of cookies, and all of a sudden you look back and they're like, pull them over. What happened? The dogs died. And the dogs are laying there with their legs up in the air. They're foaming from the mouth. So you can't.
They
Unless
can't
you're
smell it in the gummies, can
Yes,
they?
on the
Oh, yeah.
gummies, on everything.
Really?
Yeah.
when you open the bag, you can smell it.
When you go international, they got the heavy duty. I watched that show on fucking.
You know, I went right to Mexico from here. Not that they cared with my vape pen, and nobody gave a crap.
No, a vape pen is like I said, it's daycare.
Yeah.
If you get caught smoking on the plane, then
Well,
they take it off
yes.
and they do the whole thing. But nah, they're not gonna fucking say nothing to you for this shit.
Well, because it looks like the tobacco one, right? Or the whatever the normal one is.
I don't know. I had it broken down in the case. It comes in, and then I just went through. Nobody stopped me.
It's so weird. You and I were discussing the reason why I know Celia is because she knows my wife from yoga.
Mm-hmm.
So we all went to coffee one day and we were talking. And I wanted to tell Celia my wife's a sweetheart, but she's as straight as an arrow.
Terry is
I
very
mean,
straight. Yeah.
She's as straight
I
as
had
a
no
fucking
idea that
arrow.
I've known Terry now for what, almost 2.5 years, I think. Had no idea that was your wife.
Like, I can't drop a lot of knowledge on Terry because she would just look at me like, what the fuck?
Yeah, when she called
you
me and
too?
she was like, Celia, do you know who my husband is? Because I think maybe, you want to be on a show. I was like, what? Why? Who's your husband? And then she told me, I was like, yeah, I don't see that at all. But then when I saw you guys together, you guys actually make complete sense. But, yeah, she's like this super yogi, flexible, like earthy.
Tea at night,
Tea, yeah.
goba to go to bed. Meanwhile, I'm popping 2,000 milligrams.
Except
of
she's
edible.
fucking hilarious, I have to say.
She's
she
a
was like
blast.
my favorite person to stand next to in yoga because she just makes fun of all the poses and isn't paid and hates
She's
them.
my wife's really cool, but
Yeah.
my wife was raised a certain way, and my wife was raised how America views marijuana.
Yeah.
My wife was one of those people.
Me too. So was I.
If you go to that area, if you see, when I travel, I go to different areas, when I talk to different people, I don't flaunt my marijuana use in front of people. Like,
Except for on this show.
no, on the show, this is what we do in the church. But I'm not. I don't have a T-shirt with Bob Marley on it, a pot leaf.
Right.
You follow me? I don't have none of that gear just because I stay away from that stuff.
Good. That's lame anyway.
Like all that stuff, I stay away from it since I'm a kid.
Right.
Since I'm a kid, I would put them on.
It
2
was lame
times.
when we were kids.
There was one shirt that I got a couple of years ago from a weed store in Hollywood. That was one of the best T-shirts I ever got. Sometimes people give you a T-shirt, you wash them 2 times. You got to give them to the Goodwill. Sometimes people give you 2 fucking times. You got to give it to Goodwill.
2 times. What do you?
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Crappy, cheesy T-shirts. He's right.
Yeah, sometimes they just
Yeah,
they
spend
just
a little
fall
money
apart.
on your shirts.
And sometimes people give you a T-shirt that you look at and go, but after you wash it a few times and wear it, you're like, ooh, this T-shirt got some fucking life to this motherfucker. Look at this baby. It just so happened it was a pot plant. It was a yellow shirt with like a sort of a pot plant. But I had camouflage shorts in those days, so it was a nice little mix and match. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you were like
just
all
to
kinds
keep your
of
cover,
weeds.
just to keep your shit color coordinated. And I'll never forget one day I got a job on My Name Is Earl.
Oh, nice.
I get my first episode, and I go, let me put on my camouflage shorts. And I put the camouflage shorts on. I put this T-shirt on without even fucking thinking. Without even thinking, I put this T-shirt on. And I walk on the set and like, get comfortable. They're going to go eat in about a half hour. You're invited to go eat lunch, and then after that, we'll get you makeup and shit. At that fucking lunch, I forgot that I had this weed T-shirt on.
Oh my God.
That's not gonna do well.
No. Everybody kept coming up to me going, man, we love you. And I'm like, what the fuck do they love? They don't even know who the fuck I am. They don't
said
even
my
know
lines
me.
yet.
Nobody fucking knows me. This T-shirt was driving people crazy. It was that
awesome.
cool of a shirt. You know what I did with it? I donated it.
Did you? That's nice.
Once I had the baby, I'm like, I'm too old to wear a shirt with fucking.
Did you
marijuana.
do like an auction for something, or just got rid of it?
No, I go to Goodwill. I go
that's
right
nice.
over here on Van Nuys.
Probably could have made a lot of money.
I
off
bring
that
the
shirt.
bags. Nah.
You could give the money to charity.
It's crazy. I have these posters from The Longest Yard.
Uh,
When The Longest Yard first came out, they gave me these little small posters. And they kept me on the poster. And it was a great little poster. And they gave me a bunch of them. I don't know what happened to them. And when I moved, I found them. And I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a raffle for charity. Give it to the people who listen to the church, autograph it for them. And someday they could do something with them. And one day I'm sitting there, I go, let me go on fucking eBay and see if they even got this poster on eBay. You bet their ass they got it on there for like fucking $10. I'm like, this shit ain't worth dick. Who
if
gives
you
a
signed it and then you did it, then yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Right.
A signature's worth a lot.
Yeah.
You could
People
blow
knew it was
smoke on it.
yours.
You could like, I saw a video.
some weed
these,
to it.
These idiots in England are selling bottled clean air to people in China for like $100 a bottle. It was the stupidest.
And what do you do with it? How do you drink
I don't
it?
know. I don't know if
suck
you
it
open it
in.
in your. I couldn't even look at the video. I think it was on like the news. I'll have to let me look it up.
Well,
Because
anyone
they-
who buys
it's
that,
like $100.
Been there.
Did you eat a Star, Celia?
No.
Did you take a bite of a Star?
No.
You got to take a little bite of a
No.
Star. 'Cause that's the only way they'll believe you. They don't think you're from the FBI. They'll see
I'll
the-
smoke the vape, but no
No,
way.
you can't
That'll
even-
do
you
me
can't-
in, and then I won't be able to talk
No,
anymore.
you
And
can't even do the vape.
I got
If you
kids. I
smoke
gotta
the
go.
vape, they'll see the kombucha, and they'll think it's a problem. You
Yeah,
either
the
gotta do it.
kombucha's
You either gotta do a
already
bong hit of the
so
heavy duty,
embarrassing. I did do a
or
bong
you
hit
gotta,
of that.
you gotta take a little bite of the Star, the
I
corner,
did
just
a
to. Because if you take a little bite of the
Oh,
corner,
this is completely
it's
real, by
only
the
10
way.
milligrams. That's it.
It's a fucking British guy, 27-year-old, selling it for $115 a bottle. The
That's
company's called
ridiculous.
AETHAER.
You should fucking Yelp him, Lee, and maybe buy yourself a bottle.
I did do a bong hit of that. That's pretty amazing.
I tried to tell you.
Whatever.
It's not even the reed, it's the fucking bong. That bong is called the mule. The mule does not fuck around. See, people show up with big bongs, and they think that that's
Wait,
cool.
why? What's special about it?
That kicks like a fucking mule. The training on that bong, this bong is the real, listen, I've had every size bong there is. And the big ones, sometimes they're hard to fucking hold and suck at the same time and really get your balance.
So many jokes, but I'm gonna let them
But
go.
this thing right here, this motherfucker here has, what's the black guy, Cat Williams? This motherfucker
This shit right here.
This shit right here. This is the bong of death. So you smoked all through college. Where'd you go to college at?
I went to college at Ithaca College.
Look at you and shit.
Yeah, I went to, and there's some good weed up there. So I smoked a lot of pot then, and I smoked a ton after college, for that matter. Put myself through grad school, smoked pot the whole way, became a counselor. That's a mental health counselor, and a school counselor, for that matter. And then we moved up to Ithaca to my now ex-husband and I moved up to Ithaca to start a family, and he had a job up there at a theater. I started working with at-risk kids, and so that I could get pregnant, I was like, I'm done. I'm not going to smoke pot anymore, and so I didn't. And I got pregnant with my first daughter, and then after I had her, I had fucking terrible postpartum depression. I don't know if Terry went through that, but it was horrible. I mean, I could not get out of bed. I cried. It was like they put me on a bunch of pharmaceuticals. I was on Prozac for a while, and that helped, definitely helped. Like, I could at least stop crying and, like, didn't, feel like I didn't love my kid, which I felt like nothing for my child, and that sucked. And I didn't want to hurt her or anything, but I definitely thought about hurting myself because I felt so guilty that I didn't feel anything for her. And then they started prescribing me, like, oh, God, Xanax and Valium and sleeping pills and stuff like that. Because, like, I just changed after I had her. I was really, even when I wasn't crying anymore, I was just, like, super anxious. And I had lots of, like, rage and stuff. It was fucked up. And then I kind of got it under control. I wasn't smoking pot then either.
How long was this?
Well, I had, like, the sobbing parts where I was just, like, could not get out of bed and like, didn't feel anything for her. That probably went on for almost a month. And then the anxiety, like, never went away. And they just kept trying to give me other meds. And that sucked. And then I got pregnant again. I went through a couple years of trying to get pregnant and taking infertility drugs, which, if you ever want to see somebody go completely fucking crazy, give them infertility drugs. Because, like, holy crap.
I had a friend who used to sell her eggs for cocaine.
Dude.
She used to sell her eggs.
That is not funny.
This bitch she was pretty. She was about 20,
Holy
22,
shit.
23.
Oh my.
She moved out here. She was confused and shit. And
Who was buying her eggs knowing that that's how she was?
went to some clinic and she stayed clean. And then they would give her the big paycheck. And she was a waitress at the Laugh Factory. But she was selling her
That's
eggs.
a fucking process to go through,
And they had to come get her, dog.
I bet.
Like the family had to come here and get her and take her away in
I bet.
a white little van and
Dude,
shit.
That's no joke.
And she was yelling Abe Lincoln and
Holy shit.
How many eggs can you sell?
I don't know. She was an egg.
You make them,
she
until
was
you
an
don't.
egg,
so.
She was an egg making machine.
But you got to take drugs to get them.
Yes,
yeah.
they were giving her the drugs, and she was snorting blow, and she was.
I don't think that's allowed.
Dog, it doesn't really matter. It's like what I'm telling you about my wife. Like, my wife is straight. She was raised straight, so my wife was raised to believe a certain thing about marijuana. And for years, she was at the Comedy Store, and she was exposed to it. She just never liked it. And then her and I started dating, and she realized that I would go downstairs and smoke. And, when you first start dating people, you accept things.
Sure.
You accept things because you're hoping you'll get rid of those things. With her, she was drinking, and I was smoking, and I was doing a lot of other things. But she didn't know those things. Then she caught on after a while. But that's not here or there. What the point I'm getting to is, after about a year and a half one day, I came upstairs, and she goes, "Why do you need to smoke?" You know, and I explained to her that I had been smoking since I was a kid.
Wait, why do you? To help your anxiety, help you focus, or make you creative, or?
Listen,
I think
man,
everyone has their own
Let me
reason.
explain something. Let me be honest with
I mean,
you.
it makes you feel good.
All these emotions didn't become public till about 15 years ago. Before then, there was no anxiety. There was no fucking
Well, there
sleeplessness.
was. We just didn't talk
There was
about
no insomnia. Yeah, nobody talked
Right.
about that shit. You just felt fucked up. Mm-hmm. When I was a kid,
you were just an asshole.
When I was a kid, I felt fucked up.
Me too.
And whenever I smoked pot, it made me feel balanced.
Yep.
Whenever I drank alcohol, it was this yearning feeling. Like that would give me anxiety. Like I wanted to do, but I couldn't. Like I was getting held back. When you do cocaine, that's a certain horrible
I've
anxiety.
never done cocaine.
You know, any of those drugs. But when I smoked reefer, I was home.
Yeah.
And it took me to say, Terry, can you sit down for a second? I go, number one, I'm never going to quit smoking pot. I'm never going to quit smoking. What about if you go home and meet my parents? I don't really give a Frenchman's fuck. I'll take a walk around the corner. I go, for some people it's a cocktail. For some people it's playing tennis. For some people
Yoga.
For me, there's nothing like going for a walk with a Walkman or an iPad on or whatever the fuck they call them, iPod, and having music on and smoking a joint and walking a mile and clearing your head.
Yeah.
And if you have a problem, that's your solution. You'll get it by the end of that walk. Marijuana will help you attain that. That's how I always felt about it, to be strictly honest with you.
I feel similarly, and I gave it up because like I said, I was raised like Terry. My parents were, not into it at all, and my stepdad, he came into our lives when I was 14, and he, like I said, he was pretty famous musician, and my mom made him give up all weed, booze, everything, drugs, like nothing. He couldn't do anything. But that meant that when I was going out and smoking pot, if I came home and he was there, I could get fucking busted like fast. And there was one time that I came in and I reeked of it. And I knew it and she knew it, and my mom was like not having it. And she said, like, I knew you were at Sam Fine's house and, you got high. And I was like, what? No, I'm not high. I don't smoke. And she was like, Harvey, come here and smell her and look at her and tell me if she's high. And my stepdad, who looks like Jerry Garcia, if you don't know who he is, Google him. His name's Harvey Brooks. Looks like Jerry Garcia. Gets in my face and just like stares at me. And I'm thinking, fuck, I'm so fucking busted. And he just like nods, looks at my mom, and he's like, nope, she's good. She's totally not high. And she was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. And walks out. He just looks at me and he goes, I want a quarter pounder with cheese. I want fries. I want a milkshake tomorrow on the top of the stairs in the basement. You don't tell your fucking mother. And I was like, done. Like, he had me so busted, and she wouldn't let him eat shit like that. So like, I went out and got him everything and like left it like an offering at the top of his steps, because I was like, don't tell on me. And I lied. I mean, I got caught with weed in my bag, and my mom found it and like took it out, and I came in and it was like sitting on the counter. So I walked by and I like did the double take when I was like, oh shit. And yeah.
Jewish moms don't fuck around.
Nope.
I wasn't even high, and my mom did this to me when she just came up to me with, are you high? You messed up? I'm like, I wasn't high, but she would look for that. That's why I never did it. I smoked.
And they had a nose for it. My mom's always like,
I think I was like 16, 17 maybe.
that was the first time?
Yeah.
Jeez, that was late.
My mom died when I was 15 and a half, and I hid it from her.
You did.
And I knew she got high.
Yeah, why'd you hide it from her? You knew she got high.
And she knew I got high, but she didn't. Because one time she got in a bind for weed. She asked one of my friends.
Oh my God.
But maybe she was baiting him or something. Because he goes, your mom on an off color asked me if I could get a weed. And I brushed it off like I didn't know what he was talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
but no, I hid it from my
you hit
mom.
it. Well, see, so here's the thing. This is why I've been trying to, change this conversation, and I think it's so interesting that like you'd say to your wife that like you don't give a fuck if her parents know that you smoke, but you told me that you don't want your daughter to ever know that you smoke.
No, not right now.
Not right now. I get it. She's
not
4.
the next couple years. I don't want her to.
My almost 6-year-old today asked me as I walked out the door, Mom, what's weed? And I said, that's just another thing they call cannabis. And she was like, oh, okay.
No, there's going to be questions.
Yeah.
There's going to be questions.
Will you ever smoke it in front of her?
I'm not sure. Not right now. I'll dodge the questions. I'll explain to her as much as I can.
Wait, but what happens if you just normalize it? Like, so my kids are, I mean, given this has like been a thing like for the past year, they've sort of caught on. I hate it. And that's what I was going to say about the postpartum stuff. You know, I got, when I finally did have my other kid, my second kid, and after I had her, like, I was not right still, but I wasn't like a sobbing mess, but I was like, you know, I still don't really feel right, but I had like, you know, bad anxiety. And I was talking to my friend Tom Grubbs, who actually, you know, is a partner at this farm in Forest Grove, Oregon, Moto Perpetual Farm, and he was like, "You're not right." Like, he's known me since high school, so he was like, "You don't act like something's off." And I told him, like, I haven't been right since I had my kid, and he was like, "You know, do you still smoke pot?" And I was like, "What? No, I'm a mom. I don't smoke pot anymore." Like, I got really judgy and pissy with him. And he was like, "Whoa, okay." And he said, "You know, I really kind of think that, like, might level you out, like exactly what you were just saying." And he's like, "You should try that. I really think that might work for you." And I thought about it, and I was like, you know, I always really loved smoking pot. And it's exactly what you said. Like, that I just felt okay, leveled out.
Something about that drug.
Right. Does it?
Makes me feel like I'm home.
Right.
Listen, I could sit here and give you blow smoke up your ass and tell you,
no,
in a year I'm going to quit smoking dope.
Yeah, no. I'm never quitting
I
again.
I thought about it because I'm not getting as high. I don't get the results I want to as when we first started. I want to fucking drool. Like,
so can you take like a 2-month break and then go back to it? Although, how would you
what's
sleep?
my options? You know,
I don't know.
I have such a system.
What about dabs? Have you tried that?
No, that's too strong. I can't have a blowtorch in my house.
You don't have to have a blowtorch. You can use it like the hot nail.
No, please, for the love of Christ.
Have you done that? Have you done a dab?
How
have I done dabs and you haven't?
We've done them in here.
Oh, well, then
it's just too much work for what I want to
But you've seen the hot nail that you plug in, right?
Yeah,
that's like a totally different thing.
No. I don't want none of that stuff in the house.
I really like those.
I like my little pipe.
That's how I like to fly. I have dab.
I have my little pipe. I have a fucking stick to clean it out with a little shish kebab stick.
And your bong.
I steal from my wife.
You go out in the backyard.
I got a secret compartment. I go out in the backyard. I zip it up and I put it back in the secret compartment. And nobody knows fucking nothing.
Okay, so I have a cabinet that all of my weed's in. You can see it, and like any, you know, bong or my bowl, whatever. My kids know where it is. I have it locked, and I have the key. But they know where it is, and like they'll come in, and I'll have it open. I'll have it open, and my older one will be like, "Smells like marijuana in here. Why were you in the cabinet?" But I'll vape in front of them. My older one, and when I'm being, I mean, because obviously Tom was right, and you know, the weed worked, and so I've been using it ever since for postpartum depression and for anxiety. I'm a better parent. My older daughter will go into my bag and find this and give it to me, like when it's in its case, and will hand it to me and be like, "Mom, do you think maybe, you know, you want to smoke some pot because you seem like you're having a really hard time?" And she's not wrong. And you know what? When we were growing up, like, kids made, and, you know, earlier than that, kids made their parents drinks and stuff, you know, like all the Sally Draper Mad Men type of thing. Which, by the way, you know, my daughter knows how to make a couple of drinks also. But don't we take the taboo off so that they're not brainwashed? Like we were brainwashed, like Terry was brainwashed, like I was brainwashed, you know, in thinking that, like, this is the gateway drug. So if my kids just grow up around pot and they don't ever feel like they have to hide it from me, they'll ask me about it. They know it's something that actually helps me and that makes me feel better. And then I'm a better parent to them because I'm all leveled out. And, you know, if one of them's like making an annoying noise sitting next to me for 10 minutes, I don't want to kill her because, you know, that's annoying. I can sit through, you know, a fucking Barbie movie if I'm high. Like, and I don't mean get so high I can't parent, but to just not feel, you know, kids are annoying. You've got one.
There's
they're
a
cute,
lot of
but
considerations here. There's a lot of considerations. Number one, what if you went to a movie and something bad would have happened?
I won't get high then. I wouldn't get high.
And you were high.
But I wouldn't be.
And nothing happened when you got in the car. Nothing happened.
I don't drive with my kids in the car.
Whatever. You got in the Uber, whatever. What I'm saying is that if you're going to feel bad that you were high. There's so many aspects
to
this.
You can smoke pot and not be high is my point.
No, everybody's different. Everybody has a different situation. Remember, when I sit my daughter down and have to talk with her, it's not just going to be about marijuana.
Right.
It's going to be, no. You have no fucking idea.
But you got to talk to her about all drugs. Sure.
No, there's not all drugs. I got to talk to how I put a machine gun to somebody's head and kidnapped them and did 4 years in prison. So my situation
That's a different.
So you understand me? My
situation.
situation a little bit more different than yours.
Right.
I'm sure when she goes to her grammar school in this area, they're going to have a DAD program. And
They will.
someday she's going to come home and go, Daddy, what do you know? And I got to talk to her and bob and weave a little bit. I can't drop it out now when she's fucking 6. This story goes from A to B to C to your grandmother dying.
But
So
you
it's
know
a little
what?
fucking
Okay, but
heavy.
listen to this, because my older daughter, last year, they had to do the DARE poster, because that's still like a fucking thing, right? They have to do DARE poster, and when like her and her friends are designing the DARE poster and putting all the drugs on, one of her friends was like, "Oh, we got to put the the pot leaf on," and my daughter was like, "No, we don't. That's really not a drug that should be in this like at all. That helps people." And my sister is fighting cancer, and she's been using cannabis for that, and my daughter knows it, and she was like, "My aunt, she has cancer, and that's helping her." And her friend Sophie. Ryan has been fighting cancer, same thing, using pot for that, and who's like, I think 4. Sophie's 4, and so and her teacher agreed. They took it off. So that DARE poster had the other drugs, but not pot. So all I'm saying is, like, if we could take pot away out of that and like put that someplace else, it's safer than alcohol. And I really don't get high with my kids.
Listen. You're going in the wrong direction with it.
No.
You're talking to the wrong fucking guy.
You're the choir. I got it.
This is no reason for this.
No,
there's no reason for this drama.
That's the arguments I'm getting from other people.
No arguments
Not
here.
from you.
My situation is completely different than anybody else's. I'm old school. I have old school values, and I grew up and seen it. Plus, I saw what it did to other families.
Right.
I sold it to other families, even
But
from the simple.
you mean all drugs?
No.
Not just weed.
I'm talking about even the simple cocktails in front of your kids and telling your kids you're hammered from the night before. Sure. I grew up in those families, so I saw it from a different perspective. I have an old school way of belief. I have an old school belief in a child and a parent's relationship. I really fucking do. Because once you let one thing slip, you got to let everything slip. So, with me, parenting is in courses. I had a mom who got high and stuff that I appreciated. Not really. I looked at the other aspects of her life, and she was really solid. And she turned me into my wife. I saw a woman that got up at 8 and went into the city and went into Hell's Kitchen and got meat when it was still the meat packing district. And then we go buy some music, then we bring it back to Union City and take a fucking cab to Yankee Stadium, the Shea Stadium to watch the Mets, then come home. She cooked for me. So I came from a different lifestyle of seeing a different type of woman and what the fuck they're doing. I went to the bar at night. I saw what they were doing, and I turned the cheek. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't want that. I sit here and I cringe. I cringe once a week at night of the thought of if my mom wouldn't have died. Because my mom died a month before the Mariel Harbor got opened. That was in 1980 when they let out 200,000 savage Cubans out of all the jails. Fidel got rid of them. And they infused Miami and northern New Jersey. And their whole mission was to spread fucking cocaine. That was their whole mission. And
How old were you?
When all this went down, I was 16. February that year when Mario and all that shit. But there's times I think my situation would have got infused with cocaine, and where would that have left my mom and Mai's relationship? Would I have done coke if she would have lived? I did coke a month before she died. Like, I held out as much as I fucking could. And to this day, I feel terrible about it, that I even did that type of stuff. Like, but you have to live. Everybody has their own sorrows and their own pains. So, I dig the shit you do. I didn't go. I forgot the name of the website, but the whole purpose of this was that you wrote this blog. You write this blog, and it's pretty much about mommies and shoes and raising your kids and shit like this. And
I did write one about, my daughter finding my sex toys, too.
Right, and after 3 fucking years, and it's interesting, right? You get a lot of people who read it, especially a lot of moms, and after 3 years, you drop this fucking story on them that you believe that marijuana not only helps, but cures postpartum depression. You know what, man? I don't even have postpartum depression. I've read about it, and I know you're correct. I know that if they took 10 women that have postpartum depression, I know for a fact that 6 of them would go, you know what? I feel a lot better now. Let's go get a milkshake.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know this in my heart. But it's very tough to sell Terry Clark this.
Oh, I know
okay?
it.
So,
And yet she was the one that was like, you gotta do it.
It's taken me 17 years, and I never imposed marijuana on my wife. Never. Never said to her, you should get high. Never. No. She won't. She'll get pissed off.
I won't do it.
She didn't want, she just, and I respected it, and that was it. And then at the wedding, I was smoking hash. And she goes, is that hash? I go, yeah. She goes, can I take a hit? She took 1 hit, and that was it. And never again. She goes, that shit made me feel fucking terrible as it did when I was in college. Fuck that shit. And that was it. And then she hurt her back, and I couldn't take it no more. You have no fucking idea at night with the ice packs and the rubbing my back. And I got her the fucking massage. I got her the fucking massage package. And then she still came home with the rub my back bullshit. And I take it to the Chinese guy for $20 happy hour, where they rub your feet, they pull your neck.
She wants a Joey Diaz.
Yeah, no, I don't want to. Listen, I'm no fucking Joey Masseuse. You got me for about 3 minutes and shit. I give 2 types of massage. Your neck for 3 minutes and the sensual ones. That's about 2.5 till the panties come off. Then the massage is over. You understand me? There's no more fucking massage.
You need to get her the weed spray to put down there.
No, leave my
yes,
wife
you
alone.
do. You do. That is how you get her hooked in.
Let
You
me
need the
explain
empower
something.
foreplay. That's what you
She
need.
kept fucking around with the fucking ice packs, and I'm gonna go get a needle. And I finally sat her down. I go, here's the deal. You know I love you and my wife, but the shit's got to fucking end. First off, my ears are bleeding. You're making the insides of my fucking ears bleed with the fucking back stuff, okay? Okay? You got to knock it off. You're not getting another one of those shots. You can't get one of those shots.
Oh, the cortisone shots. Yeah,
the problem is you got the fucking shot, and instead of stretching in the backyard and fucking around, you sit on your ass with a fucking ice pack. You believe everything the fucking doctor tells you. I'm telling you, you got to get blood to that area. You got to give that area blood. I'm the one that made her start walking around the fucking park.
Oh, good.
I go, you got to go walk around the park right now.
those cortisone shots.
Well, I got to go do this. No, you don't. No, you got nothing to do. You got nothing to fucking do. Go. Get the fuck out of here. And she walks around the park now. She's like, I like doing it. I do it 3 loops now. Yeah, you do 3 loops. It's fucking beautiful. That's why we live here. So you go to the fucking park.
But she won't try cannabis for the pain of the back.
Hold on. Slow the fuck down. So I start taking hypnotherapy. And the chick's telling me how she's a yoga teacher. I said, look, I got to tell you something. I got to get my wife out of the house. And the yoga teacher.
Listen to the show,
and the hypnotherapist like, what are you talking about? I go, listen, what days you teach yoga? I go, what type of yoga you teach? She goes, this is soft yoga, sold. I go, where's the classroom? What time? She gave me everything. Honey, you're going to go to yoga. She goes, I can't. My back. I go, listen, you're going to keep not canting until how fucking long? How long are we going to hear I can't? Because then you're never going to do it. You're 46. It's only going to get worse. I go down there. Whatever you can't do, you bow out. And whatever you can do, you bow in.
Right.
That's it. This is easy, Magoo, but at least you try to get some blood to that area. You got to give these areas blood. Guess what? She went. She went again. She went again. She went for a walk. She went again. She went an extra day. She went to Basic Yoga 101.
Nice.
So I go, so the pain's going away. So we had a conversation about Xanax. And she's like, it's starting to bother me.
God,
I go, listen, I love it on the road. But when I'm home, I got these stars of death. I mix it up. I got chocolate bars. I got wacky taffy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mix it up. I go,
candy store.
I go, Terry, I got some CBD. Oh, it's 1-to-1. I go, do me a favor. What time you want to be in bed? She goes, I want to be in bed about 10, 15. I go, listen, at about 9 o'clock, do 2 sprays under your tongue. And she looked at me at first.
It's just the CBD oil. It had THC in it.
Fuck yeah, 11%. So somebody like her will feel it, and she'll sleep like a fucking baby.
Great.
Listen, she fucks around with that goba, melatonin, all that shit works 3 nights, and then your resistance goes up and you're fucked.
Right.
You actually depend on them. Like, I'm going to take 3 of these. Nothing's going to happen. They're done. She drinks the kana tea, the woo tea. Everything puts you to sleep for a night, and then there's no more sleeping. And I could hear her teeth grinding at night. I could hear her teeth grinding. So I told her, I said, listen, I ain't gonna object, but just listen to me. Hear me out. Just hear me out. I got a call from a friend of mine. He called me. He told me he needed CBD oil. He wanted to try it. I brought him the best CBD oil, 1-to-1. I gave him the CBD oil. He's my brother. I grew up with him. I don't give a fuck. Take it. He calls me back 2 months later, and we're talking. And he goes, listen, I want to thank you for the CBD oil. I go, why? He goes, I got a dog who's got cancer. And he goes, his numbers were going down in his kidneys. I don't know, I'm not a doctor, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know the thing. My friend is from Jersey also. He's crazy like me. And I could hear he goes, I've had this dog for 13 years also, and he gets cancer. And he goes, I don't know what to do, but his numbers were going up. He goes, so I started giving him 2 sprays every night. He goes, what do I got to lose? He goes, guess what? His numbers are going down. He goes, he's still going to die, but he's doing a lot fucking better than what he was doing. So I go, honey, if it saved the dog, give it a shot. And my wife's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, just give 1 shot an hour and a half before you want to go to bed. And she gave it a shot. And the next day I said, what do you think? And she goes, I don't think it was enough.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I go, do 2.
Damn.
She did 2, and now she does 3 a night, dog. Come on.
And but you don't think she would eat an edible?
No.
Really?
No.
Even
Listen,
one that just had like 1 milligram
Listen
in it?
to me.
Oh.
I tell these people on the fucking...
You make 1 milligram?
I tell these people on the air, and I try to tell them, listen, when you guys see me and Lee eating chocolates and all this shit, it's cute. It's really cute, people. But let me tell you something. The best edibles you'll ever make are the ones you make in your own living room, in your own kitchen. How do I know? I'm going to tell you guys a little story. I meet Terry in 2000. We move in together maybe 9 months later. I'm busy as fuck on the road as a feature act. I'm open for Joe Rogan. I'm starting to do movies little by little. She knows of my drug use. She kind of, I would meet her at the store and have a few drinks. And, what the fuck was I going to tell you?
Edibles.
Making your own edibles.
And one day, I hear about this edible shit. I go to Houston, Texas, and my buddies in Houston turn me on to brownies, and I ate one night, and on stage, I saw purple spots and shit. And I pulled them out, and I go, what the fuck do you put in these? And he told me, and I go, all right, I'm going to go home and do the same thing you do. And it was me, my wife, and this girl, Andrea. All right, so it was a Sunday night. We went down there, and I hosted. And Andrea and my wife came later on, and they worked. That's when they were waitresses at the Comedy Store. And when I took off about 12:30, those girls came home. It was like a Memorial Day weekend, like a Labor Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So we went back to my house, and Andrea and my wife ate while I was going to make brownies at 1 in the morning, okay? So I fucking whip up the box of chocolate, fudge, whatever the fuck they send you. I put the fucking almonds in there, whatever the fuck they send you, the chocolate almond, Betty Crocker. And I take butter, I throw it in a frying pan on the lowest level that I can throw it.
Mm-hmm.
I take this weed, I dry it really good. It was from a friend of mine. And I took 1/8 of it, and I grinded it down. I took all the stems out, I cleaned it. And I let this butter just simmer, and I would throw the weed in there. I would throw little bits of weed until it was fine. And then I would just squeeze the weed until the butter turned green. Mm-hmm. And I would dip it on the brownie. And then I would do the same pot. And I would mix this into a fucking brownie. And, I would lick the spoon a little bit. And I would come back and do this. And this went on for 20, 30, 35 minutes until I cooked all the fucking weed. And even then, I took the weed and put it back and did another batch of butter with it. And took it all the way fucking down. And drained another fucking 3 ounces of fucking THC juice into this chocolate brownie mix. And I whipped this shit up. And there's a Law and Order marathon going on. So I'm on fire. I already licked the spoon 3 times. I went downstairs and smoked a joint. I probably got a Xanax in me, something. I got something in me. I put the fucking brownies in the thing. I take them out. And It's about 2 in the morning, and we're all sitting there, and the next thing you know, the girls go in the kitchen. They're like, man, that smells good. Andrea was straighter than my wife.
Oh my God.
She was from the South also. They didn't like that shit. They would have a few drinks and listen to Kid Rock, but everything else isn't going to fucking work out for you.
Kid Rock.
They come back, and they look me straight in the face, Lee. And what do you think that question was? If you know your Uncle Joey, what do you think they asked me? And what do you think I told them?
I feel like I could answer this, so you better be able to.
I have no idea. I'm high as fuck right now. I'm sorry.
The girls came out and said, is that whole thing THC?
And you said no.
I go, no,
Jesus.
half of it is THC, and half of it is straight up.
I totally would have gotten that
And
answer.
they looked
I'm
at
really
me.
disappointed in you, Lee.
I was high from the 3 spoons. But when I went in there and cut a piece of brownie, a little one, and I gave them each a little piece, and then I ate another piece, we went out there and started watching Law and Order. And those girls and me started getting higher, higher. By 8 in the morning, we couldn't even go to bed. We were fucked up. Those girls were fucked up. And they were loving it. Like, my wife's eyes were beet red. Andrea's eyes were beet red. I fucking fell asleep in the bed. My wife fell asleep on the couch. Andrea fell asleep on the floor.
Oh my God! I thought you were gonna be nice to your wife.
That was nice.
We woke up like at 4 in the afternoon. Hungry as fuck, giggling.
So why wouldn't you do it again? This sounds like a
Let me
lovely
explain
time.
something to you. My wife got so fucking high, she couldn't go to work and the whole thing. So that was the end of that.
You don't have to do that every
I'm gonna
time.
give you my advice. Don't even ask her. Don't even ask her. You don't want to know. Let me give some shout outs here real quick. All right. J McFanatic, Salad Bowl Grinder, J Fag 6, Angel Rodriguez, Perzangaberg, Perzangaberg. I like that name and shit. Floyd 79, Justin Wood, Jimmy Nunya, and D in Colorado. I love you, motherfuckers. Don't forget Thursday night Flappers, and then next Thursday, the weekend at the brand motherfucking Improv, bitches. So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So now you do this blog for the fucking 3 years, and you put a blog in there about reefer solving all this, and who gets mad at you?
Oh my God. Everyone got mad at me.
Did
Well-
people unsubscribe and stuff like that?
Well, advertisers pulled out.
Now,
yeah.
okay, so this magazine is based out of where? Your blog is based out
Well,
of...
yeah, we're like a mom website, and it's based out of LA, and we have, we sell advertising space, and one company that will remain nameless was actually wanted my older daughter to do like influencing, online for their brand, and I would have had her Instagram account, like I would have had control over it, and once I came out about supporting cannabis, they pulled out and said, nope, never mind, we don't want to touch that. So, I mean, it was, brands, Big Pharma was, one of them. It was, they had no interest in
I
that.
could tell you way ahead of time that I think people are still very confused. That
They
the
are.
mentality, no. The mentality is still there. There's still that old American mentality, that marijuana, and there's nothing you can fucking do.
I don't know. You know what
There's
though?
nothing you can do.
Your buddy Joe Rogan said it really, really well, like pretty recently, and he said, we take all these pharmaceuticals, we don't know what's in them. We just believe what the government tells us. That's safe, that's safe, that's safe. We take it. You know what I believe? I believe that the farm that is helping my sister and has helped me, where I can go and walk around that greenhouse, and I know the people that are, raising that crop do an amazing job, and it's organic, and I see where it comes from, and people really give a shit, and that this is a natural thing, and I am worried about Big Pharma being involved, and they're gonna be involved. Plus, like, there's sort of corporate cannabis stuff now. I like a small farm that's doing good. I'm into that as a mom, and that's hard to
All I
argue
want
with
to
as
do
a
is
mom.
go to the store on the corner and get weed and mind my fucking business. I don't want to go to the farm. This guy
I
nothing
want
to
to
do
go
with
to
a
the
fucking
farm.
farm.
Yeah, but you're not a
No,
mom.
no,
What
no,
what
no.
would Terry do?
Even
Terry goes to
Terry
Whole
doesn't.
Foods, right?
Listen,
Doesn't she?
Terry doesn't. No, Terry don't give a fuck about this shit.
Oh, come on. Yes, she
Terry
does.
doesn't
She's
give a
like
fuck
all
about
yogi
that.
and
No,
blah,
no.
blah.
Terry doesn't know anything about this weed stuff.
No, not weed.
No.
Regular stuff
Yeah.
that she'll
She goes
get.
to a bunch of different places.
That's what I'm
My
saying.
wife
But
goes
she
to 3 or
wants to
4
try like all the herbs,
she
right?
wants to go to 3 or 4 different supermarkets.
Right. So why can't we? All the things she was taking before go to bed. Like to me, she got that at Whole Food. You don't know where it came from or what the government put in that. But I do know what's in cannabis and what's in weed. I like to call it cannabis because it sounds much more motherly.
Listen, I agree with you on all these facts.
Right.
The only thing I'm trying to explain to you is
Oh,
this
yeah,
is all
people aren't
great
ready.
shit.
I know.
People aren't ready. There's
No, they
nothing you
aren't.
can do.
Yeah.
No,
This-
go
the
on my
people-
Yahoo article
the-
and read some of the comments people said.
Oh
to
no,
me. It
the
was
people
fucking
people
horrible.
that listen, man, this is old America. And there was supposed to be a war in drugs that was never fucking won. It was just exposed, and it was a war that fucking failed miserably. And every generation has a different drug. For Lee's generation, it was to do ecstasy and jump up and down. When the Jewish kids came to town,
I did a fair amount of ecstasy.
and
It was fun
whatever.
stuff.
We all
Zero
had
ecstasy.
something different.
No, what?
And to some people, marijuana's included in that circle. And there's nothing you could do.
But isn't there for the next generation by doing what I'm doing? If I start this conversation now and my kids grow up thinking it's no big deal, your kids grow up thinking it's no big deal, and it falls more into, well, that's kind of like Tylenol or, and a kind of, alcohol that we don't touch, but we sort of can use recreationally and to make us feel better. Don't we change their view if we do this now?
Do what?
Like if my kid's growing up
Do
now,
what? Do what?
this change it so it's not like hush hush hiding it,
no,
and trying to bust
listen,
my kids.
If you get in your fucking car today and you go to fucking Sunset Boulevard and make a right, they're gonna see all this shit.
No, but
They're gonna see all these fucking billboards,
Yeah, they
and
do.
eventually, one day, they're gonna come and ask you.
No, mine already asked me.
Right, I understand that, and I'm fucking happy for you. But one day, they're gonna come and ask you, and you have to talk to them and explain to them, and it all takes time.
Right, but
That all takes
but
time.
if
And
you
every
just sort
family-
of integrate it into it like it's not a big
listen,
deal.
I don't need to integrate it. That's the problem. I don't really want to integrate it. Every there's a family. There's got to be a fucking family moral somewhere. In this country, there has to be somewhere.
But why is that
And
not
there's
the moral?
And there's an age. And at some ages, there's some shit that they should not be exposed to.
Wait.
They
But
shouldn't
do
even
you
think
drink?
about
Will
that
you
shit.
drink a beer or anything in front of your?
No.
You won't drink in front of your
No.
Yeah.
No. Then when you're 16, you're at the club with your fucking stupid girlfriends, drinking wine, talking about how your 16-year-old sucking dick and with drinking. Yeah, that's how it starts.
Oh,
With the
I don't know if
stupidity.
that's true.
That's how it starts.
Did your
with the
parents drink?
stupidity. With his dad did.
My dad did.
His
My
dad
mom-
did, but his mom is by the book.
Yeah, my mom is. I've seen her.
Listen,
drink
I
like 2 or 3
love
times in
what
my
you're
life.
talking
Really?
about here and stuff, Celia, but
No, I
I'm
like.
a little
I
older
like.
than you,
I know.
and I saw. I listen. I saw families that were Catholic as fuck. That I used to go to their house and eat Italian food, and nobody would curse. And then drugs started coming on the scene, and 2 of the kids died. This isn't my point. I also saw people that grew up with kids that didn't do drugs, but the parents played cards, and on the weekends they played cards and drink. And we would go to their houses, and because the parents went out and drank, he would have parties at his house. Today, that kid's a fucking boozer.
Yeah.
Is it because? So, for me, what was the cause of that boozing? That his parents weren't home. They were out fucking around. Fucking around.
But yes.
Marching, fucking around.
But that's
fucking around.
absolutely.
And
but
then you
that
get
has
mad.
nothing
What
to
is
do
my
with that.
daughter? What is my son doing? So, in my world, I saw it from a lot of different perspectives. I'm 54. I don't even like to talk about what I'm going to teach her because I'm alive today. And I get to spend time with her and sit with her. Listen, man, I was exposed to things at young ages I never should have been exposed to. I never should have been exposed. As simple as marijuana.
That sounds like it.
Never should have been exposed. I still love that I shot a gun. You know, in those days, there
That
was
was okay.
there was a thing called the PAL, the Police Athletic League.
Yeah.
And after school, if your parents didn't have enough money, you signed up and you went to the Police Athletic League. They took everybody because they had a pool table. They fucking sharpened guns. They taught you how to clean guns. You know, they taught you you serve lunches to homeless people. It was a fucking adventure then. This was before this way of, I mean, we're all looking for a better fucking America. If you take your child to these schools in Malibu and whatever, I mean, before I even had a child, I would go to barbecues at my friend's house, and they would talk about how they had to pull their kids out of Malibu High because of the amount of
Drugs.
Drugs.
Yeah.
You know, like they tried to put them in a private school, and they had more drugs.
Yeah,
in the
the
private
more
school.
money, the more
These
drugs,
The
man.
more money, the more drugs.
Totally.
You know, so I'm sitting here going, like, right now I'm sitting here going, where do I move this child? But on the other hand, I want you to know something, Celia. What's up, brother?
But I grew up in one of the nicest, towns in the state where I grew up. But even where I grew up, it used to be called Drinking Drugsbury. That my high school. There's been drugs at high school forever.
And you didn't do drugs?
Not until I was like 16 or 17 now, and I barely did smoke the weed. And I took my first edible, one of those
like 5 minutes ago.
homemade brownies.
See, but this is my point. It's everywhere, Joey. Like it's you can't get away with it. So that's where I get to like if we're sheltering them, like you're gonna see it on TV, and now they have screens and they're all there's YouTube. Like they're gonna get into it. So isn't it better now if we introduce it to them as kids?
I think my question is because I've seen CNN's done some pretty interesting shows.
Really interesting
on this subject, and I think one of the parents had a dispensary near or in their house or something to that effect, and they got their kids taken away from them, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably. Well, so I don't know. No. Unless the kid got into it, they shouldn't have gotten them taken away for that, or unless it was illegal. Was it an illegal operation?
I haven't done the research, but I'll look it up and see if I can find it. But my question is, like, do you worry now that it's gone a little viral, and you say how open you are with it? Because even though I'm
losing my kids, you mean?
Well, do you even not full time, but like they could contest it, or maybe your ex-husband. I'm not sure what. Like I don't know what.
No, because my kids aren't. I mean, it's the same as having alcohol. It's a legal state, and I have a card, and it's locked up from them. They don't have access to it, and so actually, it's not a child protective issue, and so CPS wouldn't have a case unless I was getting them high or I was getting so stoned that I couldn't parent. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not. I don't do that. I microdose to control anxiety. I use it like it's medication, and I don't hide that from my kids.
Okay,
if that makes sense. Not that I never get high. I certainly will, but my kids are not home when I do that. How's that? And they don't know that part. Like I don't say sometimes mommy gets so high that she needs to go to bed. Like I don't say that.
I really like what you wrote about the menopause piece, and I like that you're getting grief. I turn you on to a different doctor to go down there and talk about this shit. You know, about the causes. I mean,
yeah, it helps. It helps menopause. It helps PPD. It helps PMS.
I don't know. I've been, like I told you. See, I grew up in a drug environment.
I know it's a different story.
No. I bought weed when I was young. I love weed. I'll sit here across from you on the microphone on a Bible, and I love marijuana. And I gotta look you in the eye and tell you that I don't know how I feel about legalized marijuana till this day. I don't know how I feel. I feel a lot better than I did 5 years ago. I know that the CBD oil is helping millions. I know that I had a fucked up knee, and I bought some tremendous CBD spray, and I sprayed it on my fucking knee, and my knee feels great. I was waiting on the fucking Epsom salt you were going to bring me.
I know, I totally forgot that.
With the CBD, you slipped up and
shit.
I
sucked.
wanted to introduce it to the fucking world. You understand me? It's going to be that or acupuncture.
That's Empower Body Care.
That's Empower Body Care.
They're going to get you some.
I want because I believe in a lot of that stuff. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of mysticism and shit that I don't buy into still, even though.
Wait, what do you mean mysticism?
There's a level
You're
of
seeing like a shaman with weed?
No. I'm so sorry. There's a level of this whole movement that I don't dig.
Oh yeah.
That people think I dig, and I really don't dig because I don't really give a fuck.
Which
like I don't really give a fuck. You understand me?
Sure.
You got the wrong guy.
Which part?
Just the whole jumping up and down. Like I don't like weed festivals. I don't. I think it's a privilege.
Yeah.
I think let's take it and run with it. Shut our fucking mouths. Why be John Gotti and rub it in people's faces? Shut the fuck up. And you know what? 10 years from now, when there's 100 people in the hospital, God forbid, God forgive me for saying something like this, but this is what's going to need to happen. this is what's going to show those people that we are sitting here talking about that'll never flip, is for a picture of people that have had cancer for 6-8 months and other people who have beat cancer. And said, I sprayed this under my tongue 3 times a day for 6 months, and my spots, went away, or my boils went down, or whatever the terms is. I'm sorry.
Like your tumors.
This is what's going to need to happen.
Yeah.
On CNN, 50 people saying, I moved to Colorado, and my son was getting epilepsy.
Families.
And he was jumping off windows, and now, look at him, he's doing ballet. He's skiing with one fucking leg. That's what needs to happen.
Well, but that is
Listen,
happening.
we need to see it.
But
Don't
it is.
tell me your fucking stories. We need to see.
Right, but that's happening.
No, I'm not.
Right.
I'm not saying to you. You know,
No, I know,
love
I
you.
know.
I'm not being disrespectful.
No.
I'm just saying this. That part of America.
I agree.
But
there's always going to be naysayers that are like, it's not that.
I'm at a weed store 11 years ago. Now, at this point, if you came to me with the CBD bullshit, I'd say, listen, my little cute Jewish chick, you licking nuts tonight, or weed, you little monkey? And if we got nowhere, I shook you. I don't have to listen to your CBD oil bullshit. Who's that chick? Fuck her. She didn't want to suck dick. I'm going to keep her around trying to tell me CBD oil heals you. This was when I was like, stop with the Betsy Ross flag. At this point, I don't want to hear about your fucking, what do they call it, Kush t-shirts? What do they call it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't want to hear it.
care
I didn't want to
about
hear
that.
it. And one day I go to this weed store. That's hidden. This is where a couple celebrities went. I didn't know about it because of celebrities. I went there and bought papers. And one day the guy goes, we got a weed store here. I go, no shit. And I went in there. The guy quit his job on Hollywood, in Beverly Hills as a chef. And him and his brother opened up a weed store. And they got the fat guy from the valley, right around Burbank Boulevard, by Whitsett. Wait, Lee, wake up! I'm talking to you.
My mom.
I'm my mom. You fucking cocksucker.
He needs one of the.
I know he
Death
needs
Stars.
a star.
No,
Yep.
oh
Yes,
my
he
God.
does.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
he
do.
does.
No, I'm with him now.
So he invested, and they opened up this little weed store in the back. But Lee Syatt, this guy was a baker. You understand me? Like a fucking Beverly Hills, truffles, that type of shit. His edibles were supreme.
Yeah.
You didn't even taste the marijuana. You would go, Joey, you gotta give me another one. I don't give a fuck. That's where they had to carry Rodrigo Torres. You ever hear the story where we were all eating edibles, and all of a sudden they had to carry him to his car. His legs are dragging.
Where'd he go?
We had to carry him back to Riverside.
No, where'd this baker go?
They fucking closed it down. They didn't want to do it no more.
Because that's what I've been searching for.
They were smoking too much.
Yeah.
But these guys, I'm in there one day and they had platinum. They had this weak chick. They just did a profile on her on one of these TV shows. She was growing weed in Beverly Hills and flying it and yanking people. They were getting her weed. It was an OG. This is 15 years ago. Nobody knew about OGs. This chick was already getting OG and sending it somewhere else. And they were getting like one of the only shipments from her in LA. It was going to that store. And the rapper had that show. Lee, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, a rapper had a show on MTV where he would fix cars.
Exhibit
would go in there every day and buy an ounce of weed.
Something in my generation, no.
That's crazy. Like, this is how, this little weed store, you know who else went in there? Who's the chick that had the fucking TV show on ABC that talked shit, and they canceled it with 3 episodes left, so she never went on vacation from the fucking 90s. She was trying to make a comeback a few years ago. And
was it?
She used to go in there. I used to see the craziest fucking celebrities in there. So one day I'm in there, and there's a dude with a fucked up haircut. Like a Marine haircut. I'm like, this guy could be De Niro in Taxi Driver. He could just shoot everybody in here. And Celia, next thing you know, he bought like an ounce of this and $100 worth of this. And the guy started talking to him, the big fat guy, Pete, and he goes, well, you live around? He goes, nah, to be honest with you, I live here, but I had cancer. And he goes, it was the weirdest thing. I was a fucking lieutenant colonel.
Rookie Lake?
No.
Damn it.
He's like, I was lieutenant colonel in the
fine.
I was lieutenant colonel in the fucking army for 20 years. For years, I despised marijuana. Despised it. And he goes, I came back and I got cancer. And I lost 90 pounds and I was really sick. And my son made me start smoking it. And I said no for weeks, and one day I took a chance, and it saved my life. I started eating and stuff, and that's the first time I was like, okay, all right.
My sister has stage 4 colon cancer.
I get it now.
And she's been using RSO, which is, Rick Simpson oil, and she was using suppositories, so, she was getting her ass high, which was right on there. And she would never smoke pot. I smoked pot. I was always trying to get my sister high. And I wrote a blog about this because it was like, I said I've been trying to get her high since I was 14. I've managed to do it twice. And the first time was when I was in like right after college, and I got her high at my grandparents' farm, and we got like the serious giggles. And then the next time was when she was diagnosed with cancer, and because she couldn't eat, she only weighs 90 pounds, and she was she couldn't eat. The chemo was making her super nauseous and throwing up. And it had already metastasized by the time they found it. She's only 40, she just turned 41, and she just had a baby. And so while she was pregnant, this cancer was growing. Her pregnancy basically masked the fact that she had colon cancer. And she's, doctors won't say that this is what's like done it, but she's come so far. I cannot believe you're eating a whole one of those. She's come so far, and that if you're not a believer and you can't believe after seeing somebody who has cancer go through what they go through and come back from it,
There's no one there for
just
you.
throwing stars at you.
Why are they wet?
Do it.
Why are they wet?
Wait,
My fingers are sweat.
that makes them extra tasty.
No, they don't.
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
Eat
it
those fucking things and stuff.
his sweat has like 8,000 milligrams. That's why I get so fucking high.
That's probably true.
Celia, let me tell you something. Okay? I love your blog. I love what you do. I love that you had the balls to write what you did, because
I love your
and I
podcast.
can't really believe in today's society so many women would get mad, but you have to expect it.
Oh, it wasn't just women; it was men too.
Men too.
Oh
But
yeah, calling me a shitty parent, telling me to get my tubes tied. Hope I don't have any more kids.
Why do you think it is that that moms can't have fun? I think that
Isn't that bullshit?
I think
It's
that's
not fair.
I think that it's a
I
weird
believe
thing.
in moms to fuck. See, I was raised by a single mom, and she had a bar, and she would dress up and get dolled up. I still remember her going to the Cheetah. The Cheetah was the club before Studio 54. You understand me? That's how deep my mom
Wow.
And I used to beg her, take me to the Cheetah with you. I had to be 4. I'd be crying, take me to the Cheetah, 4 or 5, like a little girl crying. And she'd go, you fucking retarded. Lee, knock it off.
You don't want to puke.
Well, no, stop with the puke. Throw it in your mouth. He's got stars over there to replace. Look at him. He's tougher than nails. Pop the star. Eat the fucking thing, will you? This is constantly, every day with this guy. Let me tell you something. I have a 27-year-old.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't talk to nobody. Fucking knows, unless the people
Some
listen
people
to
do.
this. And by the age of 5, I had made mistakes around her. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I had made a couple mistakes around her. She was a little from my cloth. One day she was watching TV in my living room. I would have her on Wednesdays from 2 to 7. And she was watching TV in my living room. And the Chinese guy came with the delivery. And I bought her some food. And fuck, Jesus Christ. I couldn't get high like from 1 in the afternoon. Now it's 6:30. I've answered 80 questions. I've chased her in 22 bicycles. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Like I'm a criminal, and I'm playing dad for 5 fucking hours. And I remember one day I went out to the porch, and I fucking lit up a joint. I had an outdoor porch. And do you know, I went to blow the smoke, and she was walking up the stairs, watching me. And my heart broke, and I made believe like it didn't happen. And I don't know if she told the mother. I don't think she did. She was, like I said, she was a Diaz. At the time, she was a Diaz. But I always thought about that. Like I was like, really, Joey? What the fuck? And then she saw me get into a fist fight. I didn't need her to see that. And that's when I was like, that's it. I gotta stop this shit. Because she's gonna grow up to be an animal like me, and I don't want her to see this shit. And I just, I don't know. I have weird. Like I said,
it's not weird.
It's inevitable, because she's gonna come home one day and ask about drinking or whatever the fuck, marijuana. I'm gonna make a joke or whatever. I dread the questions Like they told her at school I was no, they didn't tell her at school I was a comedian. They asked her if I was funny, and she said, "Fuck no." She didn't say "fuck no." She just goes, "No, he's not funny." So,
Ouch.
you know what I'm saying? She's like, "Daddy, why were they asking me if you were funny?" I don't say nothing about comedy. Every once in a while,
Nothing you do here is
every-
funny. What are they talking
yeah,
about?
yeah. Every once in a while, I slip and say "show" in front of her, and she looks at me like kind of weird, like she don't know. I don't want her to know I'm a comedian until a certain age. I don't want her to go to your house and be that fucking kid. You following me? Don't tell me you don't know what the fuck
I
I'm
do.
talking.
No.
Especially in this fucking neighborhood.
Of course.
You go to parties here and parents will go, "Hold on 1 second," and they'll bang 2 spoons, and all of a sudden 3 little gay kids come out of the living room dressed like each other, singing the fucking Beatles, and you're like, "Where's my gun? Where's ISIS when you need
Totally.
it?" No. You have the Lee. You have
don't
no
know.
idea.
It's so
I do
bad.
not want to be that parent.
No, please
I am
don't be.
fucking sorry, Celia.
I agree.
I am sorry.
It's the
So I don't
worst.
want to be at your house one day with your nice Jewish fucking family and the guitar player, Jerry Garcia, and Lee's there and a bunch of other fucking Jews. And all of a sudden, my kid breaks out, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Is this mic on? Is this mic on? And you're like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden he starts going, "Listen, I was doing lesbian tricks in the 1st grade." And you people are like, "No, she's not
Oh
doing
my
it."
God.
You understand me?
Yes.
So no.
Oh my God.
When she could understand what the fuck stand-up comedy is and how I do it and why I do it,
Right.
that's dead. If I go to the house and Longest Yard is on and my wife's like, "Look at Daddy," I go, "Turn that the fuck off." I don't. One time my wife slipped and she saw it. She's like, "Is that you?" And I'm like, "No."
No.
And she didn't give a fuck. She goes, "Get that off." Perfect. She don't give a fuck. There's certain things that I gotta feed her little by little, dog. I don't know what order they're gonna come. What day is she gonna come and go, "Daddy, they showed us a prison today. Were you ever in prison?" Come here for a second. Let me tell you a little fucking story about your father, all right? And, you know, what about the day I got to tell her about her 20-year-old sister before her and why? You have no idea how this chapter of stories is going to wind up. What about the day she comes up? People go, "What about YouTube?" What about the day she comes up to me when
Yeah.
she's 12? And she goes, "I was watching a video of you and Lee. You said you were snorting coke or some chick's pussy. Did you ever snort coke?" You know what I'm saying? This is the shit that I wake up at 2 in the morning and go, "Oh my God." Like this, I'm way ahead of you.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
way
a lot.
ahead of you.
Yeah.
I'm way ahead of you. So you want me to sell her whether it's good for cancer victims? That's the least of my fucking dilemmas. You know what I'm saying? That's the least of my fucking dilemmas, okay?
Right.
You know, I don't want that fucking weed in the house.
So you don't have weed in the house? Yeah, you do.
Yes, I do, but I have it on the other side of the house, way away from her. I don't let my wife leave in the yard if I go out there. I wait till she's in the bedroom and I go out to this certain thing and I smoke out there. I keep the weed smoking in the backyard to a limit. Just for right now. Just for fucking right now.
Yeah, she's young still.
Yeah,
I mean,
no. You have
know.
no idea.
but you
Because
also accomplish a shit ton for somebody that's like the whole,
this is why my wife,
back down on it.
rest of
obviously.
America thought that, like anybody else, that somebody who smokes marijuana is lazy.
Right.
It's a gateway to other drugs, and they also think that they just sit around and play video games.
Right, and they lie on
I'm
the couch
the
all the time.
anti-everything
Right.
that smokes marijuana. Marijuana
You're not
to
the
me,
only one either, you
Marijuana to me is a stimulant. Put some coffee with that. That's another stimulant.
They're mixing those now, you know.
A piece of nicotine gum, that puts you over the top. You understand me?
You can
This
get like
puts you over-
fancy coffee with, weed
Yeah, but
in
it's
it
35 milligrams. That don't do dick for nobody. I gotta sit there and drink 10 cups of coffee and be high and piss like a fucking savage now for 8 hours.
Yeah, you do break the stereotype. That's what I hope with my kids. It's
No,
like,
that's
you know,
the thing.
Right.
To me, since I was 13, and I didn't know how to describe it. For me, from the time I started smoking weed, forget about work ethic. What marijuana did, like if you had a hard job, you called Uncle Joey. I would go, I'd assess it, and I'd say, "Celia, it's going to cost you a yardstick." And I would smoke a little bit and go back in that room and put music on, and I wouldn't stop for 4 hours. And then for 4 hours, I'd come out again, I'd take another Tootsie Roots, go back in there, get a half and cheese sandwich. That was my thing. I would work, I'd do anything, but I had to be high. As long as I was high, I could fucking do whatever the fuck you had for me. Give me a minute to figure it the fuck out. But mule work, there was nobody better. I did more mule work high. I could paint rooms. Mm-hmm. If you come to me and say, I got a building, I got 5 rooms that are exactly the same, the first room is going to be hard, because now by the time I get to the second room, it's going to be easy. I go in there and mask everything up. I throw paint. What do you think gives you the patience to do that type of shit? For fucking 6 years.
But I feel like that's the same thing as parenting. Like, it gives you the patience to parent.
Okay.
It's like you said, the running around and all that stuff.
Saturday mornings. Saturday fucking mornings. I wake up at 7 a.m. The girls are sleeping until 8:30. My wife wakes up about 7:15. I wake up about maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes before my wife. I wake up, I press the coffee thing, I clean up some fucking cat vomit and shit. I go to my room, I put the candle on, I pee, I wash my hands, I put on the computer, I open up the 3 fucking places I'm gonna go to, I start checking Hotmails, I drink some coffee. After like 3 or 4 sips of coffee, it's on, Celia. I go out to my backyard, whether it's 6:15, whether it's dark out still, I fill up that fucking pipe, I close both doors behind me, and I hit that fucking thing. If I got some impulso, I hit it again like a savage. I go in there, and I drink some more coffee with some fucking nicotine gum, and it's all over. I start writing goals. I fucking send my emails out. By that time, I hear my wife. I hear my wife in the kitchen fucking throwing garbage out or doing fucking something, yelling at one of the cats or some shit. And I've already done an hour's worth of work.
Right.
In 30 minutes. I'm already alive. I already know my mission for the day. I know exactly how I feel, if I'm going to go to jiu-jitsu or not, or I got a plan B. But this is the way I've always been on it.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think you're alone there. I think a lot of people are like that. But the stereotype is you're like a lazy asshole, and you can't take care of your kids and stuff. And that's why when the Yahoo thing came out, people were like, well, she's clearly an uneducated, lazy, asshole, and she's gonna lose her kids. And you know what? I have 2 businesses on my own. I have my life coaching practice and the blog, and then I work for I freelance and do like radio work for freelance stuff, and I freelance write for other places as well. And like, I don't know, my kids see me working. I work around the clock. I never stop. And I have a master's degree and a bunch of certifications, and I'm a trained rehab counselor. Like, I'm not talking out of my ass, and yet people were like, on me about it.
That's why you're on the fucking show. I believe in you. Listen, here's the stereotype. Because I was cute, but okay. Here's a stereotype. Celia, that why is it like your next blog is a picture of you with a glass of wine,
right?
Or a picture of you with a joint.
Yeah, wine I could get away with.
Which one do you accept? Me, I'm 300 fucking pounds. I drink 2 glasses of wine. You can do whatever you want. You can stick cucumbers up my pussy. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I don't even have a pussy, but after I drink 2 glasses of wine, I got a pussy. You understand? I get fucked up.
I'm stealing that.
I get fucked.
Brilliant.
I get fucked up. See, I'm not an alcohol dude. There's a Heineken in there. You want to drink it? Both of us will be on our fucking asses.
Yeah.
Last time I drank a Heineken out here, I was fucked up and thirsty. It's like eating a pork sandwich. Holy shit! Eat a pork sandwich at 6:30 at night and go to bed. You'll wake up at 3 fucking dying.
I don't want to do that.
But
yeah, I drink. I usually drink on the weekends, and when I say I drink, I have like a drink or a few beers on a Saturday if I'm out. But I don't typically drink, and I don't drink during on school nights, like we say in my house. I don't drink on school nights. I don't feel like I can get up. I practice yoga for an hour and a half every day. And if I drink and I wake up the next morning, I feel like crap. But if I smoke, I'm in.
You're healthy. I could tell you another.
But yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's the stereotype. Moms can have wine, and we can have. Give me all the wine. And like you said, moms aren't allowed to have fun.
Didn't California just get voted into marijuana? Didn't they reject it 2 times?
Yeah,
something like that.
One time I
once.
think. Yeah.
Think about that. It got rejected one time.
I know, but we can drink as much as we want. Got rejected in
fucking Florida, didn't it?
No, it passed this time.
It just passed. It did get rejected once, but
people are not ready for it. You know how they got the thing sold?
And yet, booze is so much worse for you.
Tax money.
Well, yeah,
tax money. That's how they sold California. That's how
and
they
Big
sold
Pharma's going to be involved soon.
Yeah, but I don't even fucking think about that shit. That's always. Let me tell you what the sad thing is. that if you drive, I always, like I said to you, I don't mind if you sell weed, my love. I always know you're going to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it professionally. I love to go to my weed store. I'm a very loyal fucking dude. Lee knows I fucking get pissed at him when he fucking yelps and goes to different stupid places.
But you'll try the
But
stuff
they
I
can
bought
really
you.
get cute with me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
People see those canisters and they see the name on there. So when I go to your store, treat me a little fucking nice. You know what I'm saying? There's
Sure.
places that treat me really fucking nice. So last week I went to this other weed store. I saw it. I was driving. In fact, I was with my wife. We're going to get lunch, and I go, you know what, honey? I'm going to go there tomorrow for weed. She don't give a fuck. I just say it to her. She looks at it and says, great. And just listens to the music. So the next morning I went in there. Oh, my God. Me, I'm sitting there going, this place, I'm not even a realtor. Celia, I'm not a realtor. But I know what $20,000 a month is on Ventura Boulevard in Studio City.
Sure.
With 4 parking spots. Wow. In front of your store. Not 2, 4. You understand me? 4 on Ventura Boulevard. Right in the heart of Studio City. That's 20 nuts.
Yeah.
That's $20,000 a fucking month. They got 2 employees that look like fucking models.
Of course.
The chick had a rack with a low-cut T-shirt.
Of course.
And the guy was trying to be a guy, but I knew he had sucked a couple cocks somewhere along the line. The security guard was there. You know, my point is that I think these places are getting a little bit too big for their britches.
They've gotten awfully
And
fancy.
if you go to Hollywood, you really go, wow.
Oh, you must really love the whole bud tender concept then.
No.
Yeah, I kind of gathered.
I used to go. The first weed store I ever went to was next to the Dukes on Sunset Boulevard. The guy knew me from the Comedy Store. He was friends with Eddie Griffin. And he just came in one day. He goes, what's up, dog? And nothing. He goes, what are you doing here? Breakfast. What are you doing here? He goes, I own the weed store. Come on over and give me a holler. And I went in there and they had a hot little black chick from the Bronx with the fucking accent from the boogie down and shit. With like the whole, oh my God. And she was killing motherfuckers because she was back there smoking and selling and passing you a joint. Motherfuckers
They'd
would
buy
go.
anything.
They didn't know what the fuck was going on. She was tremendous, you know. But some of these people have lost their minds. There used to be a place on Formosa.
No.
Formosa and Santa Monica
On the boulevard?
in Hollywood. This was 10 years ago. They had a guy out in the street and he checked your security. In fact, I saw Lawrence Fishburne outside there one day. He wasn't going in to buy weed. I was standing out there and he just said hello. I said hello to him. But I used to go in there and I'll never forget one day I went in there, straight face, Hollywood, 2009. And the girl goes, hi, welcome to whatever the place was. And I had been in there about 4 times already. And I thought they had a sense of humor. And I looked at her, I go, let me ask you something. She goes, what are you looking for? I said, to you? Or you know. And I look at her and I go, listen, I want to see the fucking devil. And she just looked at me and she goes, we don't use that type of language in here, sir. Listen to me. We're living in a place that tomorrow morning, if you'd like, I think my wife has yoga at 10:30. You're more than welcome to come to the house. We will take you to breakfast. And after breakfast, I'm going to take you to Colfax and Ventura. Close your eyes. Do you know what that is?
I do.
There's a Jinkies breakfast place
Yeah.
there. Okay. We're going to park the car by the weightlifting place and we'll walk down the stairs. And you walk down there and there's a little running path. And we're going to take a joint out. One of the joints you brought me today from the farm. We're going to take that joint out. We're going to spark it. In 2017, Studio City, California. Lee's going to sit there with a clicker. And we're going to smoke the whole joint. And we're going to watch how many people are going to hold their noses and give us dirty looks. You will look at me and go, Joey, I thought you were fucking lying to me. I'm going to go, this is why. You can't say this type of shit about marijuana. You want to smoke your weed, you got to keep it under the hat because these people are still living in 1920. Look
They
at them.
hold their noses and walk by you? I've never seen that here. Really?
I'll take you to a place.
I'm in.
I will take you to a place.
I'm in.
that you'll see like grandmas running by.
Like your grandmas.
And you'll have your fucking joint and shit.
They were born in like 1930.
And
when like they were told.
And you'll see them running, and all of a sudden they'll look at you and go, and they'll hold their noses, and they'll run past you, and once they get 20 yards from you, they'll look back.
And give you dirty
And
looks.
they'll take pictures of you.
Can I wear my mama t-shirt just to
Oh,
like
please.
rub it in?
Yeah, bring a video camera.
Yeah.
You will die. You will go, Joey, I thought you were kidding me. This is why.
Why are you intimidating grandma?
They could
Why
be,
not?
They could be,
Stop
listen,
scaring grandma.
they could be 40-year-old moms. I just went down there one day. One day I said, let me go for a walk. I put my running sneakers on, and I just got caught up down there.
You all right, Lee?
And I took a fucking,
No, I don't know how he gets myself in any situation.
and I took a joint out, and I sparked it down there about 9:15 in the morning. And people were running by, and they were pissed off at me. If 6 people went by, 4 of them actually turned around and just stared at me for like 5 minutes. Like, how could you?
You know, though, there's this, like, those are the same people, though, that when they're running on the treadmill, they fart next to the person, like, that's running next to them and don't care. So,
You know.
They're just assholes.
We live in a place where they're ready, but they're not ready. They don't. We can't reach them from any level. Like, you know, you finally believe in something when, you know what, man, I have a child, and Celia's child had a problem, and CBD all cured him. Now we relate. We have something to relate on. Wow,
Right.
really? So I'll bump into you at swim class. She looks great. CBD. That's what you're telling me, Celia. You're Jewish, aren't you? You're trying to fucking look me in the face and talk to me about CBD oil and everything your people have fucking been through. You're going to talk to me about fucking CBD oil, about everything they went and fucking went through.
Yeah, we didn't really kill Jesus.
You know, I mean,
Oh
you know, you think about it but it really does work for people.
It
I see it
does.
working for my wife.
Yeah.
She sees it because if not, she came to me the other day. She goes, I don't know what happened the other night. I sprayed it. I lost count, and I don't know how high I got. Whatever. But she goes, it's empty. I mean, she goes, make sure you go today. I mean, she was serious.
Yeah, she should
That
be.
morning, the first thing I went and got her CBD oil. I put it on the counter. Let me tell you something. I could put a fucking thing on that counter. A month later, that thing will be on that fucking counter. I put that box on the counter. She swooped it up like that and took it to her bedroom. I worked my wife slowly. She's not going to get high. The highest she's going to get is on that juice at 11:15 at night. That's as high as she gets. When I walk in there, she's not snoring no more. She's not biting her mouthpiece no more.
Right.
Her sleep anxiety has gone away. Now, would somebody believe me in America if I told them this? No, they don't. I have no validation for them to believe me.
Yeah, but they should believe you more than other people. You were a naysayer anyway, and you use the stuff.
Here's the beauty
Like,
of it.
you're the best person to listen to about that.
No. Like when what's a guy did it on CNN? What's that do? Supta
Gupta.
Somebody was
Doctor.
against
Dr. Gupta?
Somebody was against marijuana until they saw that Sanjay
Yeah.
thing, and then they put it on a bill to vote it into. You know, that's how influential. That's the type of people that have to influence marijuana. It's not fat fucking ex-felons like me or a little chubby Jewish guy.
It is
from
moms,
Jersey.
though.
Moms is a part of the circle to influence.
Yeah, when moms
is
say
part of the
something is
circle.
okay, it's
Listen
okay.
to me. I don't think a lot of people in America are ready to blow fucking reefer smoke in their kids' faces.
Who's blowing reefer
You
smoke in
understand?
their
No,
faces?
you understand what I'm trying to say? to you?
Yes, of course.
I think you have a legit story for Viceland. I think I really do.
Yeah,
Why not?
I agree. I would love to do that. I've talked to Viceland before, and I think I'm pretty pro marijuana. But they last I knew, they were looking for a mom pregnant to smoke pot while pregnant on camera, and even that I can't get behind. Like, if I can't, that to me is pushing it a little bit for me, and that's saying something. But listen, I think, like we were talking about in the beginning with, DUIs, like, it was moms that changed that outlook, and it was MAD that got behind making sure that we had DUIs. Moms really can change things. If you think about like a lot of movements, gay rights movement, it was moms that came out and are like, I accept my gay son, and then you know what? That changed pretty fast. Lots of people were a lot more accepting once mom said it was okay.
2 things real quick, Celia.
Please.
Another question I dread.
Uh-oh.
Daddy, why are those 2 dudes holding hands? How come you and Lee don't hold hands?
We do. You guys aren't here.
No, we don't, Lee. Okay, we don't fucking hold hands, cocksucker. When gay marriage got put, that came way before my daughter was born. And the first people I thought of were parents that picked their kids up at the park and 2 guys are making out in the corner. And your son that's 5 looks you in the eye and goes, Dad, why are those guys over there swapping spit, feeling each other out?
I don't like PDA, so I don't want to see anybody make out. But I exposed my kids to that early too.
And listen.
Gay couples would babysit for my kids.
Yeah, no. My mom had the bar. We had gay people in there. Again, I'm not saying nothing bad.
Oh.
What I'm saying is that in my mind, there's people in Middle America.
Yeah.
That if your son comes home and says that to you, they'll go home and get a shotgun.
Oh, I'm sure.
And go,
I'm pretty sure they left the comments on Yahoo for me.
What are you saying?
Right.
I'm saying I just saw 2 guys at the park making out with cowboy hats on, like that movie.
Yeah, Brokeback Mountain.
Brokeback Mountain. All of a sudden, that father go home and get a shotgun.
Yeah.
They don't even think about that shit. There's people that are ready for this, and there's people that aren't ready. We can sit here and talk stupid arguments that have been beat up like a fucking carpet. They've been beat like a fucking carpet, but we've bought into it because we've seen it.
Right.
We've seen the changes it's done.
Right.
If you think when I started smoking dope at 13 and going to ShopRite and stealing a 6-pack of Hubba Bubba and going back to school and throwing Hubba Bubba at each other, that I amounted that someday myself and another woman that has a mummy's website, we're going to be here talking about marijuana and the knowledge I learned from that early education, as stupid as it sounds, because I grew up in the 70s when they weren't really looking at ADHD and all these child symptoms that they look at today. Do I believe in all these things? No. I believe that, the same feelings you had when you had that postpartum, they started putting drugs into you.
Yeah.
And these drugs, you and I could sit here till we're green in the face. We both know they're bad for you.
Yep.
It causes a chemical imbalance in your fucking body and your fucking brain.
I mean, a lot of them are. Some of them are very helpful for certain times.
But not when you start eating 12 of them, honey.
No.
Into your little skinny fucking frame and your mind and your husband and you have a child.
I was nursing my kid. I don't know what that did to her.
You just said you had a weird emotion.
Totally.
These are all things that, I remember going to my doctor once and going, I need an anxiety pill. He didn't give me Xanax. He gave me this other thing. And as funny as the story is, I took it. And I'm like, that's the weirdest fucking pill I've ever taken in my life. And I had this friend.
Like a Zoloft or something? Like
it was
a
something
SSRI?
It was crazy. I don't know nothing about Zoloft. And then this shit was off the chains crazy. A couple of weeks before that, a friend of mine said, I have an Oxycontin. You ever do an Oxy? I go, no, I didn't. He goes, I'm going to give you a tiny amount, a 16th of a 16th of a 16th. It was just a little chip. I'm at home one night. I got a spot at 10:30. I popped this thing at like 7:30. I'm sitting there, fucking 8 o'clock, Lee. I'm sweating profusely. Like that night I passed out in here from telling you the bloody story. I started sweating profusely. I had to take my shirt off and shit. The room started spinning. I had to cancel my spot and go to bed. I never ate something so bad. But the next morning, you know what I did remember? The fucking synthetic feeling that I had that night and that morning. And then I went on those anxiety pills and I started getting the same feeling. Mm-hmm. And I had this friend, Sergio Love, that did anything. Remember those Chex commercials when we were kids? Mm-hmm. What is it, Chex? Give it to Mikey. Mikey,
Life.
Life.
Yeah. Well, I like Life.
Huh?
Life is like one of my favorite cereals.
Yeah. Me too.
Cinnamon Life.
Mikey likes it.
I like Life. So, Sergio, you can give him anything. So one night, Sergio used to say, come. So Sergio, take these pills. Let me know what you think. They're heavy duty. He called me 2 days later. He goes, what the fuck were those things? And I threw the rest of them away. and I started. Anytime I got a little bit of anxiety, I started smoking weed.
Yep.
At that time, I started putting it together. Weed stores were opening. I finally went and got my license. And I said, I'm going to quit smoking. I'm going to do this. And marijuana is going to help me do all those things.
And it did. Yep. No, I agree.
And today, I could sit here and say this. I never went to a psych as a kid. God knows I should have. The death of my mom, the death of my dad at an early age, that's got to be traumatizing.
Yeah.
You know. But I got to tell you something. I think a lot of the years what kept me together and what gave me hope sometimes is when you smoke and you get that wind of creativity. That's also a wind of thought if you don't have a notebook. And sometimes that thought will pick you up from a dark spot, man.
Oh.
Because I know it did me, guys. I know for a fact what it did to me. You know, all those years I was in dark places, prison. When I got locked up, they put me on something. At first, I wanted it to get high, but after I did it like 4 or 5 times, I'm like, fuck that shit. That's the shit they give to gorillas to calm them down and shit after the circus.
like a tranquilizer. They dart gun you.
Oh, my God. And then I started taking them in prison and selling them for like $10. And that guy was smoking them or some shit.
Oh, my God.
He was getting fucked up. It's like this little brown capsule. It's under, what's that thing when you do the shuffle? People who do the something shuffle, the morphine shuffle, the something shuffle. This is the cousin to that pill. And it was a little dosage. The first night I ate it, I slept for like 16 hours. I woke up but like in the Twilight Zone. You ever eat one of those? And the next day I took it again. I slept like 10 hours.
Oh, my God. Why'd you do it again?
Because let's see what it takes. Let's see what this cave takes you. Then I took it down again, like the 3rd night in prison, and it was okay, like that night. And the next one I woke up with a little nausea, and I was like, I don't know about this. Because one night I had eaten codeine. In Boulder, Colorado, I ate some codeines to come down off of Coke Binge, and I had the same nausea feeling the next morning. So that night when they gave it to you again at 7 o'clock, I said, should I take it? I fucking took it. And that night I got kind of high. And I go, you know what, how many nights am I? And I asked my buddy what it was, and he goes, you don't want to keep taking that shit. That shit's going to make you a dead dick. You know, it's going to fuck up your mind. You don't want to keep taking that. I go, you know what, it's not worth it. But he goes, I know who'll fucking take those from you, and he'll give you a high dollar. This crazy white dude. So I wait for the fucking doctor to come. I maybe I put it in my lip. Once they leave, I pop it out of my lip, and I bring it to my buddy. And he'd give me like $7.50, $8, whatever the market price was, and that was the end of that. He'd crush it up and smoke those things.
Well, we have a huge problem with that stuff in this country. Huge. Opiates that's a big deal.
Well, I'll tell you what, where legal, when states where marijuana illegal, opiate emergency use, emergency room visits are lower. I read this thing the other day, and it makes sense. It makes sense to a guy like me, but most people wouldn't understand that guide. They look at it as the devil. They look at it and go,
you know, they started using marijuana to help patients in rehab come off of opiates. Like, they're using it now as treatment. It's been all because I'm, rehab counselor, so I like stay on those threads, and I think that's really fascinating, and it doesn't surprise me at all either. Because it levels you out, like we've said. It levels you out. Like, if you have any sort of imbalance, it really can.
I got Xanax at the house. I could eat a Xanax.
I don't know how you do that.
I could take 2 or 3 stars, and there's really no difference. I'm looking you fucking straight in the face and telling you, go home and take your Xanax or your Valium. And you're gonna wake up tomorrow a little groggy and
hangover.
I'm gonna give you a star. You're gonna, when you go home tonight, you're gonna take a bite of it. You're gonna go like this tonight. When the kids go out of the fucking house, you're gonna go. My Uncle Joey gave me something tonight. You girls can't sleep here. Go to your fucking father's house.
I'll do it this weekend. They're at their dad's
Fuck him
all
and
weekend.
you, and you take the first time. Okay, let's assume this is 125, correctly?
Yes.
This is 125.
Yes, sir.
So if I cut it in half, it's 65.
62 and a half.
All right.
Right, so if I ate the corner.
So you ate the corner, one of these. That's 35 milligrams.
Right.
I guarantee the next day eat a Xanax, you call me up and go, Joey, why don't you go on 60 Minutes and talk about this again?
I agree.
Nobody would believe me. I need 5 world-class doctors to go on television and overthrow the fucking what's the animal?
And well, it's it's like Ativan.
What are the sleep aids? Aren't there 3 big ones? Can you imagine if 5 doctors went on national TV and said, "Listen, people, you could go to your pharmacy right now and take Ambien or whatever the fuck it is, or you could buy these right here and take a little bite off."
Well, they're not going to say that because they don't make any money on that.
Right. So you're always going to lose that war, which is a money war.
Yeah.
That's the war you lose, but it doesn't matter because you're winning your personal war.
Wait, do you know what the organization Canna Kids is? Have you ever seen anything about them?
Oh my God, I hang out with them all the time. No, I don't fucking know these people.
Canna Kids is another mom started a whole thing. She's working with all kinds of doctors and doing tests and stuff with kids with cancer using cannabis.
No. One more.
Oh my God.
We're going deep.
I'm deep enough.
He's
Dog,
never
you ain't
gonna
deep
get cancer.
enough. Lee, you can't be deep enough. Listen to me, Lee. You ate 4, 2.
He ate 6. He's on at 6.
Oh, he said 6 stars.
No. I started with 5.
All right, what do you got?
And then he gave me 2.
Oh,
right.
And then he gave me
even
2.
more.
So I'm at 9.
One more.
No,
What the fuck? You gotta even
Oh
out.
my God.
I'm doing even 10. I just ate 10. I just ate
No, you
10.
did not.
Lee, I've been eating stars here. 2 of the fucking shot.
I'm doing.
What you gotta lie for? I gave you another star with the
We did the
THC.
chocolate too, dude.
That's what I'm saying to you. I gave you the star with the THC finger on it and shit.
I'm going to the doctor.
But
Friday.
listen,
He's gonna
they
tell me I'm
give
fucking
kids all these
gummy.
crappy medications to fight cancer, but they've held back on this. Don't you think that's messed up? And if you saw research being done and you buy it in that, and that's the other thing. Listen, you already talked about this, as far as we showed that, or we've talked about, cancer being helped by weed. So why is it so not that you're disagreeing, but the people that have come at me about it, it's if it might actually cure cancer and it helps people feel better from fucking cancer, is it really that hard to wrap your head around the fact that it helps me feel better, with anxiety and fucking postpartum depression? Because I don't think that that's anything as, next to fucking cancer. And yet this is stuff that we have to argue with about, with moms, not you, but other people. But you're seeing the light,
Who gives a fuck? You're all right. You're healthy. Well, you're going to put the kiss of death on yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Let me read some sponsors and we'll get the fuck out of here. We'll wrap it up. I'm happy you came on.
I am
I'm happy.
too. Thank you.
I want people to go to Little Mamas. I want people to follow you.
Thank you.
I think you're very interesting. I think that I get where the fuck you're coming from.
I think you're
It's
awesome.
just that you went on a liberal mom webpage on an election year, with all the bullshit that's going on, and you just crashed their heads in. It's like what you did to people was pull the plug out in Las Vegas. Las Vegas would sit there and go, well, what happened to the electricity? Fucking Celia. Pull the fucking plug.
We also just endorsed a cannabis farm, which was a big deal for a mom blog to do.
People are not ready. People are becoming believers one by one. Again, you don't see me jumping up and down like Johnny McDougal, but I'm telling you that I see it in different people. Kids came from New York, just as big as I am, went to jiu-jitsu, went there for a whole week. I became friends with him. I go, really, you're from Long Island? He goes, yeah, blah, 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 blah. He goes, I quit my fucking job, and I went to San Diego, and I fucking worked out 6 days a week, and it's been great. I go, you're a big guy, 6 days a week. And he goes, man, I came out here and discovered CBD oil. And he goes, I'm not as sore anymore. I could work out. He goes, in fact, I bought a bunch of bottles to take back to New York with me. I know that when I gave up edibles for Lent this year, and it helped my reefer, but the CBD oil felt a lot better also. In fact, if I spray 3 or 4 sprays at night of CBD oil, I get a little fucked up at night. I'm not going to lie to nobody. I don't see the devil, and I don't want to, fucking jump out a window, but I feel a little wheezy. I got to go to sleep. If I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm going to have insomnia, I go in the computer room, I put the YouTube on with music, I pull a notebook out, I spray 3 or 4 of those CBD oils, I smoke a little bit, give it an hour.
I can't believe you can do all that, but dabs turn you out you're not.
I don't want that shit in my house. Listen,
Do it in here.
Listen. No. This is my office. I'm not going to get in my fucking car and come all the way over here to get high. No. Like I talked to you, I'm a really traditional type dude. you know.
I know. I
once-
kind of love that we
once-
argue about this. It's good.
Once I can't roll it. Once I can't. I don't want to be involved with it. That blowtorch shit
Oh,
in
yeah.
the house, that shit scared the fuck out of me.
It is scary when you see it.
It makes my wife think about things she don't need to fucking think about.
I hear that.
Kabish?
Yeah.
My life is dedicated to my wife, so there's no drama, because if you have a happy wife,
You have a happy
you
life.
got a happy life. You
Agreed.
keep them happy. They don't see blowtorches in your fucking kitchen. You know, she don't
It
wake
does-
up
it does
and see
really look
spoons and
ridiculous.
shit.
Yeah, yeah.
My wife, I don't need my wife to see any of that stuff.
No.
My wife does me something that she does for me because she loves me. Because she knows that I'll fuck it up if I do it. But once every 2 weeks, I look at my wife, I give her my pipe. And my wife looks at me, I go, thank you. She does something with it. An hour later, it's in my bathroom, spotless, on top of a paper towel. I'll see her an hour later and go, thanks for the pipe. And she'll go, yep. And that's it. That's
She's
the only
cool.
thing she'll do
I dig
for
your
me.
wife a lot.
Yeah.
She's
No. My wife is cool as shit. So
She really is.
for me to keep that, I can't show up in my house with 6 motherfuckers with a blowtorch and bring them in my yard
No?
for no reason. No.
You don't think?
No.
No?
That don't even.
It's fair.
That doesn't even come close to my world. Like, my wife doesn't.
I
I've
for the
always-
record, and before people send me hate mail, I don't have a blowtorch or anything
No,
like that in
no.
my house either.
Whatever
with
the
my
fuck
kids.
they show up with, the rocks and the
This.
thing.
Okay.
Listen, if you gotta take more than the bong hit I gave you tonight, you need heroin. Why fuck around with a rock? And
Right.
Why are you fucking around? You're trying to tee it. Listen,
That was a
stop
good
knocking.
bong hit.
I don't fuck around. If you show up to the fucking Casa Voodoo, where we shoot this fucking place at, and I have reefer here, it's fucking world class reefer.
I have to come see you live now.
I'm happy you came on.
I am too.
Celia fucking Behar, a.k.a. Behar, a.k.a. over at lilmamas.com and shit. Fucking putting it together for you. Again, don't forget, I'm going to talk to you people about something. Father's Day is coming. You know, I was joking around and shit about your father's asshole before. I don't know if your father's asshole smells. I'm just using particulars. I'm 54, and from time to time, I scratch my anus in the middle of the day and I sniff it because I'm curious. And I know it's got some wang to it. And I immediately go to the fucking Hello Tushy. And I wash my asshole. And I even bust out soap sometimes and put the fucking towel in there and mix it all up and get the brown eye clean. And you're ready to go. You're confident about your asshole. You want your dad to be confident. HelloTushy.com. The bidet is back, okay? You don't know what a fucking bidet is? Let me tell you what a bidet is. A bidet is a device that washes your little muffler clean after you go to the bathroom right there. Now, to install one will be thousands of dollars. You don't need that. HelloTushy.com is a new portable bidet that you install right. It goes right into your toilet. Bada bada boom. So after you take a staminkia, or after ladies, after you get a little stabbing, and he shoots that little fucking techno glue in your monkey. You know what I'm saying? You get that love plasma in that fucking skunk of yours. You went out 3 nights this week and got 3 different cocks. What do you think that hoe smells like? You think that's a pleasantry for anybody? Thank God this last guy had a bidet. You could just crack that cricket, put that water in it, throw some soap in that motherfucker, and ping pang boom, your monkey's back and shit. Anyway, whether it's a muffler, whether it's your monkey, whether it's your helmet, Hello Tushy does it all. You understand me? But they focus on the moufleur. The moufleur is the whole thing. Why? Because that's where diseases start. That's where you get hemorrhoids and you get different itches and different diseases. You get fucking crab rat. What is that crab? What is that crab crotch? When people are sitting there and they're scratching their ass, whatever, crab scratch, whatever the fuck it's called, you get that from sitting in your office all day. Never again. It's a portable device. You go home, you sit on that thing, you don't have time for a shower. You fucking put the cold water right in your little muffler. Oh my God, you don't know what peace and serenity is till you have little water hitting your little muffler in the afternoon after a long, stressful day at the office or wherever you've been. Hello Tushy is guaranteed for 90-day guarantee. Nothing will happen. And they ship right to your house. Do me a favor. Go to HelloTushy.com. Look at the portable bidet. You're going to fall in love. You're going to fall in love, okay? You're not going to buy one of them. You're going to buy two of them. One for your dad and one for your mom, because their asshole's been looking like it got some wang to it from time to time. You know what I'm saying? She's eating those biscuits again, and shit backs up in that little muffler. Anyway.
You can buy one for the office.
Buy for the office. Go to HelloTushy.com right now and press in.
Church.
What is it?
HelloTushy.com/church.
Boom! And get 10% off your new Hello Tushy. Never have a stinky asshole again. Number 2, are you hiring? Do you know where to post your job to find the best candidates? No, you don't. Let me explain something to you. It's very hard in today's market to get great prospects for whatever position you're looking for. If you're sick and tired of going through a resume, ZipRecruiter is for you. With ZipRecruiter, you can post your job to 100+ job sites with one click. Then their powerful technology efficiently matches the right people to your job better than anybody else. That's why ZipRecruiter is different. Unlike other job sites, ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them. In fact, over 80% of jobs posted on ZipRecruiter get a qualified candidate in just 24 hours. Can you beat that? No, you can't. No juggling emails, no calls to your office, nobody showing up at your office with a suit, with a resume. Those days are over. Simply screen, rate, and manage the candidates all in one place with ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use dashboard. Do me a favor. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by businesses of all sizes to find the most qualified job candidates with immediate results. And right now, today, my listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free. Gratis. Free. That's right. Free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/church and post your job for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/church. One more time. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/church. This is what you've been waiting for. Number 2, I want to introduce the new product that I love. I personally fell in love with it. I spoke to one of the people involved with the company. We had a nice phone conversation, and I listened to what he had to say, and his mission was beautiful. I mean, looking good doesn't need to cost you a fortune. 5-4 Club is revolutionizing the way men shop. Each month, they send you a curated box of 2 to 3 items that are hand-picked to match the current season and your style. Hand-picked. They've been helping men with fashion for over 15 years, and they ship to over 100,000 men every month. They know what they're doing. So if you don't, that's okay. 5-4 Club will help you build your wardrobe 1 month at a time. You're sitting there wearing clothes from 1980 like your Uncle Joey. You don't need that stuff. You want to be hip. You want to be modern. You want to know people that you're making a statement. Because when you look good, you feel good. It's just a fact of life. What happens is this. You get $100, $120 worth of clothes for just $60 a month. You can pause or cancel at any time. No commitment. And as a 5-4 Club member, you also receive 50% off items in their online shop and access to exclusive members-only items, free shipping, and size exchange. All right, do me a favor. Go to 54club.com right now and enter promo code Joey, and they'll give you 50% off your first month's package plus a free pair of sunglasses. Who's better than you? That's 50% off your first package at 54 Club, spelled FIVEFOUR club.com. Promo code Joey. Let me explain something to you. This is the way to go. $120 worth of clothes every month for $60 delivered right to your house. And if you do it right now, they're going to throw in 50% off your first month's package plus a free pair of sunglasses. Chris Paul, Mark Wahlberg, they use the 5-4 Club. The 5-4 Club is featured in GQ, Vice, and In Style. With over 15 years of experience, it's safe to say that the 5-4 Club stylists are experts, all right? Do yourself a favor. Again, go to the 5-4 Club right now and enter promo code Joey. They're going to give you 50% off your first month package plus a free pair of sunglasses. Who's better than you? That's how we're ending the month. I want to thank HelloTushy.com. I want to thank the 5-4 group, and I want to thank ZipRecruiter for sponsoring the podcast tonight. I love you, motherfuckers. Don't forget, Thursday night, Flappers, 7:30. I'm doing a workout, $10. A notebook full of shit that comes in my mind when I smoke 52 joints. And also, next Thursday, Brea Improv, bitches. Bring it, where this whole madness started. Thursday night, Friday night, 2 shows. Saturday, we're coming at you like a fucking big black kahuna. You understand me? Anyway, I want to thank my girl, Gina Behar. Tell them the name of the webpage again. Gina, Celia.
It's been a lot of joints. It's
No. You look like Gina from Miami Vice. So
I'll take that.
The chick from Miami Vice.
It's the lilmamas.com.
Lilmamas.com.
Yeah,
She got a great blog. As you could tell, she got balls of steel. You gotta love her. You know, she's making a statement, ladies. Get on the fucking program. Wash your pussy. Get Hello Tushy. And that's it. I love you,
Can you
motherfuckers.
use it on that?
Fuck yeah.
All right.
Wash your pussy. Use Hello Tushy. Who's better than Uncle Joey?
Thank you for having me.
Hit it, Lee.